been joined in the street circuit club by the dazzling Grand Prix on the Las Vegas Strip, in Miami, Azerbaijan and others. And there's no sign of the trend slowing down. The streets of Madrid have also gotten involved, and there are conversations about Grand Prix in the capitals of Thailand and Rwanda. But fitting them in means we said goodbye to classic circuits like Hockenheim and Imola, angering fans who are still packing out the European tracks like Spa, the Hungaroring and Monza. And these generally produce more wheel-to-wheel action than street circuits too. At Silverstone in 2025, there were a total of 26 on-track overtakes. At Monaco, 4. I'm an F1 enthusiast. Even I struggle with that. But it appears to be a good step. In 2025, there was a record 2.3 million strong viewership for the Monaco Grand Prix in the US alone. Meanwhile, for the British Grand Prix several weeks later, 1.5 million tuned in. So why are we seeing this drive towards street circuits? Well, no prizes for guessing. Money. Formula One demands a fee of between $20 and $60 million for the rights to even hold an event. In total, including sponsorships, it's believed officials in Saudi Arabia pay almost $100 million for their race. The huge fees are possible because of the street track's city centre locations, as people staying at hotels at inflated prices and tourist sites brimming with visitors mean the cities rake the cash back in when the race comes to town. So it makes financial sense for Formula One and the cities, but will it cost the sport in the long run if F1 races are too boring? After all, nothing beats the roar of an F1 car as it flies through the forests of Europe, or mechanics watching a storm coming across the humid Asian countryside. Take that away and, well, you may as well just watch American IndyCar.
Good morning. Weekend sports breakfast here on talkSPORT is Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Oh, Nigel Clough's Mansfield caused the shock of the FA Cup fourth round, coming from a goal down to defeat Burnley.
Thousands and thousands of Mansfield fans behind the goal, thoroughly enjoying themselves. Mansfield have only beaten Burnley once in their history. That was back in 1977. We're seeing history here today. Burnley 1, Mansfield 2.
I was buzzing for them because the owners were on our show yesterday morning and it was a very happy Valentine's Day for them. We'll look back on all of yesterday's action, including wins for Man City, Newcastle and Liverpool. Was the FA Cup better or worse without VAR? Did we ever expect to find ourselves saying something like that? But there were a few dodgy ones yesterday. 03717 223344 if you want to give us a call about that. 81089 if you'd rather send a text. In the Six Nations, Scotland absolutely schooled England in the Kolkata Cup. Scotland head coach Gregor Townsend proud of his side.
You know, a big game this is for our supporters, but also what a quality opposition England are, and you have to deliver a top performance. They did that today.
31-20, that one finished up. Go on, Scotland will revel neutrally in that one for Gregor Townsend's men. And it's another thrilling day of FA Cup action, including 4 more commentaries coming up for you today on the talkSPORT network. Birmingham host at Leeds at lunchtime. Daniel Farker says he won't take unnecessary risks.
We want to go into the next round and want to see how far we can come. So I'm a big believer in cup competition without doing anything stupid.
12 o'clock, live for you here on talkSPORT, and all of the updates for you from the Cup today on Game Day Live from the Cup and for beyond. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Morning. Now you know I have my spies everywhere.
Yes.
You're with Charlotte Richardson, at Bromley yesterday.
Yes, I was at Bromley versus
Send me
Notts
your
County.
pics.
Yeah. It was
Spies everywhere.
it was quite a different game that I've been used to.
How was it?
I enjoyed it. Look, Bromley have a style which is quite direct and very, very difficult to play against. I mean, I've played against direct teams in my career, and Bromley do it brilliantly well. And now it ended a draw. I thought Notts County second half were terrific. They just kept going in the way they played. And it was a physical battle. It literally was endurance. It was... I would say that Bromley, what they've done, in some ways, is unfashionable from, obviously, Andy Woodman, who's the manager there, that they play a style that everyone's going to hate playing against them.
Yeah.
But, and say the big but, they're top of league. They've had promotion. They've won a trophy. Do you know what I mean? All the things they've achieved. And the theme in the club is to do it at all different levels as well. Women's side, to play quite direct, the youth at the club. So, and look, there's a lot of history between the two clubs, as in Notts County is a club that's been established. I didn't even know Bromley you can go back to the 1800s with Bromley, late 1800s.
Oh, really?
Notts County even further back. But it was entertaining, but in a different way. The kick-off, Bromley just kicked the ball out of play. And then everyone squeezed into a position. So they're giving away possession straight away. There wasn't once in the game the goalkeeper rolled the ball out to a fullback.
Really?
Or centre-half.
I like that.
Well, no, look, you play the way you want to play. If it works for you and you get success, I think there's many ways to skin a cat. And if you want to play a style, which they do, they do it brilliantly. So fair play to... Look, Bromley at top of the League Two at the moment. So
did you go home and tell Mrs. Cascarino all about it? Is that our Valentine's Day romantic tale?
No, we didn't really. Well, I thought, I got a tie.
Did you give her the rose?
Yes, I put it on the side.
What, you wore a tie or you got a tie?
No, I bought a tie.
You bought a restaurant?
Takeaway.
Right, okay.
We just had a takeaway. It was lovely. Yeah, she was happy with that, and I was happy. And then I could sit in and then watch the later games, couldn't I?
Yeah. Well, you'd prepared yourself for the day because you'd already given the card.
Yeah, and it was pretty entertaining last night.
It was. Do you know, I enjoyed the Villa Newcastle game.
Yeah, that was
mental.
I mean, is that one of the most controversial games you've
seen? It was
seen?
pretty controversial. Yeah, from a neutral with,
It was.
No dog in the fight. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Villa were, I thought, the better team in the first half, and so many decisions to talk about. And I know we're going to talk about a good few of them, so we'll get there soon. But there was Liverpool later on as well.
It was indeed a dramatic day in the FA Cup fourth round. Here's how it all sounded for you here on talkSPORT.
The FA Cup, what a beautiful competition it is. Coming forward towards the edge of the penalty area, still Creek Somerville, 1-0 West Ham. It has taken them 95 minutes. Hammer blow for Burton Albion.
Manchester City 2, Salford 0. Mark Gay's first goal for Manchester City will ease the nerves here at Etihad Stadium. And what a story it is developing here. Burnley 1, Mansfield 2, and wait till you see this goal back. It is an absolute screamer from Louis Reed.
Norwich are into round 5, Norwich 3, West Brom 1, and he scored again. Mo Toure.
And it may well be the winner for Southampton. Southampton 2, Leicester 1. James Bree off the bench.
Ball into the area. Voltemada is in, and Voltemada has scored, and there's no doubt about it now. Newcastle United are into round 5.
Salah earned the penalty, skips across, comes forward and smashes it into the corner, gives Steele no chance. Liverpool are on their way through. It's another defeat for Brighton.
Big old day in the FA Cup. It truly was. Burton were beaten by West Ham live on talkSPORT 1-0. And then Mansfield came from behind to beat Premier League side Burnley. Man City beat Salford 2-0, but they didn't exactly smash them. Derby game there live on talkSPORT 2, and Norwich beat West Brom 3-1. Southampton beat Leicester 2-1. Leicester having an absolute shocker, by the way. Villa Newcastle last night, as Cass mentioned, was rather controversial. And then Liverpool back to winning ways against Brighton. That one ended 3-0 here on talkSPORT. A couple of things to point out, Cass. It was nice to see the lower league sides have a real go. Mansfield obviously get the win against Burnley, but other teams not been smashed.
No, well, Salford is the great example, isn't it? Man City had to sort of rely on bringing on some of the big guns. Mark Gay gets a goal. There's a debate in whether he should have been playing for City because obviously he played with Crystal Palace in the FA Cup.
So those rules were amended
to
see more players get the opportunity to play in the Cup. Yeah. But is it right? I mean, you were knocked out recently in dramatic fashion, in splendid fashion, which makes us love the Cup. And now you get to score for Man City and possibly go and win it.
Well, it hurts the team that gets knocked out. Okay. I'm a fan of seeing the best players play as often as they can. And if you've been knocked out one club and you join another, if that's the rule for everybody, I don't see it as unfair. Everyone's got the same rule. You could argue that, look, Man City have enough of talent at their disposal. They could, win the game without Mark Gay in the lineup. So it's a strange one. And look, there was some great performance yesterday. We're going to talk I've just mentioned Salford getting knocked out, only 2-0.
It was 8-0 last time.
8-0, last year. And then sort of you look at Mansfield and what they did. Caught the highlights of that yesterday. And I always love it when you see a player who's been a journeyman, who's been around a bit, and that's Louis Reed.
Yeah.
28 years old, been around. I think he was at Sheffield United for a while. And then gets a goal like he did. And it enables them to get a victory.
Stunning goal.
Well, it was a wonderful strike. And there's 3,500 Mansfield fans in the stadium. Just it erupts. And you sort of think, that is what the FA Cup about. Because it reminded me of the famous one, the Hereford, Newcastle, all them years ago in the 70s when a wonder strike, and that's what it was yesterday. It was a wonder strike by Louis Reed.
Yeah, he actually spoke to our reporter Chris Hull after the game when his free kick proved to be the worthy winner.
Well, have you ever hit a better free kick than that?
Not on that occasion. Now I've had a couple of free kicks in my career, but the whole day's been special, and to top it off with the winning goal was incredible.
Two of you standing over it. Was it always yours?
Yeah, I took the ball straight away. The manager always likes us to have two people there, so opposition kind of don't know what you're going to do with it, but. Yeah, as soon as I knew where it was on the pitch, I thought, it's mine to take.
And particularly special as well, given the timing of the game. What was it, about 80 minutes in, right in front of that travelling army of fans as well? What a moment.
Yeah, that made it extra special. Obviously, the fans followed us the last round to Sheffield United and packed that end out. They followed us here and packed it out again. So to reward them with a win is even more special.
And anyone you want in the next round?
City would be nice. I know they've beat Salford today. I think that's the only result I've actually seen come in, so I know they're in there, but look, if we can keep the run going, see how far we can get this year, that'd be nice as well.
Brilliant result for Nigel.
Absolutely. And, we had the owners on yesterday, didn't we? And
yeah.
A great result for us as well. They were very upbeat, and they'd been off the back of a difficult sort of league run where they hadn't had a victory. And so they took on Burnley, who had won at Crystal Palace after being 2-0 down last week. And it's a great afternoon. Look, the first half was a difficult one, and you'd expect that for Mansfield. That Burnley got their noses in front and get pegged back. Could have made it 2 or 3. They didn't, and this is what the Cup's about. That a team in the second half can turn it round. Wonderful victory for them.
Yeah. VAR. Do you want it in the Cup from the early stages? It comes into play from the 5th round of the FA Cup. So next round we'll see VAR, which is annoying at the best of times. But yesterday, especially in the Villa game, there were a couple of moments where VAR would have proved to have changed the outcome.
A couple.
What was it, like 4? 4 instances?
It must have been at least 4 incidents, yeah. Mm-hmm. Look, yesterday was a wake-up call to us all that, that VAR might not be as bad and it has its issues. There is no perfect system. And we go without VAR, that was the consequences of yesterday. If we go with it, there'd be another great examples of games. I just thought yesterday there was just too many incidents. It wasn't one major one where, is it Tammy Abraham's offside? Yeah. No. Is it a penalty for the handball? Is it the foul on Lewis Hall? There was literally 4 or 5 really big calls, all that were wrong.
Yeah. I mean, Wayne Rooney said last night, watching the Luca Digne handball, saying that's one of the worst decisions that he has ever seen.
Well, it was shocking because it was quite obvious. It was inside.
Very obvious, yeah.
Yeah. Look, Chris Kavanagh, I'm not pointing him out, making him a scapegoat. Didn't have the greatest, but nor were the officials on the lines either.
Newcastle were hard done by. I mean, I was pleased for them that they got the win because the official didn't seem to see much of
No,
what
there
went
was a lot of
against Newcastle.
mistakes, and technology is never going to go away. And I wanted VAR because I always felt the game would be a little bit more fairer, and we were eventually going to end up there. Did I imagine it would be what it is today? No, I didn't. And there is issues with it. I was at a game yesterday without VAR, and there, wasn't really much controversy in the game. There was, you could argue, a couple of penalty shouts for either side in the game that weren't given. But I wouldn't have gone, there was something so dramatic as what happened at Newcastle, at Villa yesterday against Newcastle.
Yeah, you can share your thoughts with us this morning. The lines are open, 03717 223344. If you fancy a chat with this one, do we need VAR in the Cup? Or was that a prime example this weekend of why it's necessary at times? I can't say necessary today. Necessary. Anyway, it's still early. If you've been celebrating, if your team got a win yesterday, Mansfield fans, give us a call, 03717 223344. It's necessary.
Are we necessary?
Not so much. It's necessary now to take a break. Coming up for you next, we'll get stuck into Liverpool's win over Brighton. Our Arne Slot side officially back. Good morning.
Speaking on the Overlap Stick to Football podcast, Ange Postecoglou criticised Tottenham's transfer strategy while claiming his former side are not a big club in the wake of Thomas Frank's sacking.
You know, when you walk into Tottenham, what you see everywhere is to dare is to do. It's everywhere. And yet their actions are almost the antithesis of that. Right. It's a real curious in terms of understanding what are they trying to build? You know, what are they? Is it... There's obviously, they've built an unbelievable stadium, unbelievable training facilities. But when you look at the expenditure, particularly, in their wages structure, they're not a big club. I saw that because when we were trying to sign players, we weren't in the market for those players. It's just who we are, mate.
Oh my God. To dare is to do. What do you lot do? You do nothing. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, look.
What do you do?
What do
you do?
I'm so.
Good morning to you. Welcome along to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Villa striker Tony Cascarino. I was once hosting a work experience.
Yeah.
Young girl, and she was reconciling the music that had been on the station that week, and she was like, I said, just read them out to me and I'll put them in. And she went, up 40? And I was like, oh no. How old are you? Get out of here. You're finished.
You're done at 40.
Up 40. It's lead singer Ali Campbell's birthday from UB40 today.
Yeah, great band. Made some amazing records. Some covers of other songs, but they've been a great band, and especially because I'm a big 80s fan, because that's my years of sort of really being into music. UB40. I never saw them live.
I was about to ask you, have you ever seen them?
No, never saw them live.
It's a great song.
But, they had some great songs. Kingston Town was another great song they made. Red, Red Wine. Many of them.
Yeah. Do you want to guess his age? Would you not care?
Oh, he must be 60.
Yeah. Ages with Harry Styles?
No, am I that far out?
Nah, you're pretty close this time.
Say he must be 60.
66.
66, yeah.
Ali Campbell. Happy birthday, big man. Keep doing good stuff. In other news, Mohamed Salah scored and provided an assist as Liverpool brushed aside Brighton at Anfield to reach the FA Cup 5th round. Other goals came from Dominic Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones. So Liverpool now back from losing to Man City last Sunday. They had an impressive win at Sunderland at midweek. As for Brighton, not looking too good at all. Hürzeler's side just one victory in 13 league games. Now out of the cup, the 14th in the league, 1 point above Leeds. What did you make of this performance? I mean, were you disappointed at Liverpool?
No, 3-0. No, I thought, look, Kirkus' best game in a red shirt, without doubt. Mo Salah looked really back to what every Liverpool fan knows he's capable of. The big standout for me is Szoboszlai. I kept thinking when I was watching the game, there's a couple. How good is he in world football? Is he one of the best in world football in midfield at the moment? And secondly, I said something different in the office, but I'm going to ask Liverpool fans this. Do they think Szoboszlai is better than Gerrard?
Oh.
I mean, Gerrard was an absolute star. So over a long period of time. But watching Szoboszlai, I just feel like he's going to play now. He's got, I think, about 12 goals this year. He's been on a pretty decent run. He's a league winner last year, had a great season. Is Szoboszlai up with a Gerrard standard? I'd love to know what Liverpool fans thought, because I think, but him and Gerrard, there ain't a lot in it.
It feels early.
As Gerrard was
early to compare. No.
Well, it may do, but I mean, Steven Gerrard at 25, 26 was amazing. He dragged the team, a bit like Szoboszlai has done this season, but Liverpool did win the Champions League in 2005. And look, an outstanding, if not the best ever Liverpool midfielder. But I wondered how close Szoboszlai was to Gerrard. I'd just love to know if there's Liverpool fans out there who would go, do you know what? Or no, he's not, Because I think they're pretty close.
8-10-89. How do you feel about Cass's thoughts there? Who's better, Szoboszlai or Steven Gerrard? Do you know, I know you're not on the old TikTok, but he's now become this theme on TikTok. I'll show you.
What, good or bad?
It's great.
Oh, is it great? Okay.
It's great. Where he when he celebrates and he like clicks his fingers and winks. And it's like, Daddy's home. And then you're like, and I'm like, oh my God.
I'll tell you, I watched him play against the Republic of Ireland for Hungary. He was Hungary's best player by a country mile. And I felt, isn't it a shame he's not going to be at the World Cup? Although of course I want Ireland to get there and be there. But I kept thinking, Szoboszlai was so good in the game that missing him in a World Cup, he is a major star now. He is one of the best midfielders in world football, in my opinion.
Completely agree. Brighton on a savage run at the moment. Cass,
terrible, yeah.
It's where they should be. What do people really expect? Brighton fans, though, last night called this number 03717 223344, calling for Hürzeler to go.
For me, it's now got to a point where, I don't think it's just me, I think it's a lot of us, that he kind of has to go now. Hürzeler has to go. I don't see a way back from him.
Before the end of the season?
Yeah, before. I think if realistically the next couple of days would be, because our season's now done, really, because today was our only real opportunity of getting something from this season.
Yeah.
We're looking over our shoulder a lot more than realistically we should.
Yeah.
But that's due to probably poor recruitment and having no real style of play.
That's Aaron, the Brighton fan. It has been underwhelming.
Yeah, that's this season. I would say that they've got one of the biggest geniuses in world football is Tony Bloom, who owns the club, that he makes a lot of very, very good decisions.
Yeah, he should focus more on Brighton instead of Hearts at the moment, Tony. All right?
Well,
Put your neck in,
well, no, what I would say is that I think he's one that you should trust to whether he thinks Hürzeler is the right man, because he has made a lot of great decisions. And look, he'll never get everyone right, and it's been a really terrible run for Brighton. That last night they had their chances in a game, in the game at Anfield, but they're struggling in front of goal. They've lost their way to score goals at the moment.
Is that a coincidence, Cass, the season that he's now invested in Hearts in Scotland?
I wouldn't think so. He's had other clubs in the past. He had one in Belgium. Okay. He's been involved in football. For me, it would be 24 every day, 24 hours, every day for Bloom. I don't know him. I've sort of met him, but not. I know a lot of people who have interest with him, who have been involved in the Bloom idea, and he's been a genius. Well, it's a bit like Matthew Benham, and they used to work together. They're both geniuses in what they achieved. I think you have to trust Bloom as a Brighton fan.
Brighton fans, share your thoughts with us this morning. What do you think about it all? 81089. Is it time for Fabian Hürzeler to go, or do you stick by him now? You can get in touch with us this morning on the Weekend Breakfast. Coming up next, we're going to head over to Milano Cortina to catch up on what's been happening at the Winter Games. Good morning.
Alex Cook has been crowing about this for the last 24 hours because, of course, this has been his motto. He said, I felt like Tottenham was saying, we're one of the big boys, and the reality is, I don't think they are.
Well, it's interesting. If I've been saying that in an Australian accent and holding up the Europa League trophy for the past 6 months, maybe Tottenham fans might believe me a bit more, because he's their hero, isn't he? Despite the fact he finished 17th last season. And he's right. He said all the things that I've been saying. They're a big club in terms of the training ground is fantastic. The stadium is the best in the Premier League, if not the best in Europe. But they're not a big club in terms of trophies won, in terms of global fan base, when you compare them to the likes of Liverpool and Manchester United and Arsenal, especially now that Son is not there anymore, because that did open up all kinds of avenues for them. And they're not a big club in terms of the transfer fees they pay, because Dominic Solanke is still their record signing at £65 million. And they're not a big club in terms of the wages.
Well, actually, that does make them a big club in world football, because there's not many clubs that play that sort of money for players. Most of them are in the Premier League
club, though.
But wages is a big problem.
Yeah, but they're not paying pennies here. Like, what we're talking about here, maybe they don't pay £300,000 a week, but I can imagine some of the Spurs players are on close to 200. I would imagine so.
Well, they certainly shouldn't have a wage bill. Their wage bill is not 17th, 16th in the Premier League, is it? There's no way that can be the case.
No, but I also think what Ange was...
Good morning. How's it going this morning? You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. My name's Shebahn. Tony Cascarino is here. We're on your smart TV or the YouTube channel if you want to come and watch along in the studio this morning. It'd be good to have you with us. Some of your headlines: Millwall scored twice in 2 minutes to win 2-1 versus bottom of the Championship, Sheffield Wednesday. Blackburn boss Michael O'Neill saw his side get out of the bottom three with a 3-1 win away to QPR. And Scotland stunned England 31-20 to seal the Kolkata Cup glory. Scotland head coach Gregor Townsend was almost lost for words on how proud he was of the side.
The second half, how we were getting penalised at times, but we kept together, how we defended our line, and then how we regained control. That makes me equally as proud as how we started the game. And it's a little while now after the final whistle, and we've had a good time together in the change room. So these are the emotions that make you realise that coaching is, and still being involved in the game, is hugely rewarding. Gives you massive purpose in your life and why you do it. But it's the players that drive our performance. The players that drove it during the week, and they drove it today in the game.
Good to hear from Gregor Townsend. It was an amazing performance from Scotland. There was a lot of pressure, I would say, on England. And
no surprise, though, is it?
I mean, these are the games that the Scots got up for. Finn Russell was absolutely outstanding, Cass.
Yeah.
We can't just rise to these.
As he always is.
I mean, England, is this just a blip in the road, or is this the start of a sign of things to come?
Well, it makes the Six Nations, even more appealing. I thought France beforehand because of how dominant they looked, and England absolutely tore Wales apart last week. You look at Gregor Townsend now. Before, what was all the newspaper talk before the game?
Yeah, he's under pressure. Huge
Literally,
pressure.
He's going to be gone. That's what it sounded. Then out of the blue, a result like this, and you should never underestimate the rivalry between Scotland, England, Wales, England, whoever, really. It just is something you need to do, is put in your best performance against the English, who were, firm favourites yesterday before the game.
Yeah, ripped apart. Scotland ripped apart England. Alfie Reynolds, our correspondent here at talkSPORT, is going to be with us a little bit later on. At the moment, he's still blowing his nose and drying his tears. Alfie with us a little bit later on to talk about the Six Nations. It's Wales against France today as well, 3:10. You're almost fearing for the Welsh today. We'll see how it goes. 03717 223344 is the number to have your say here on the show this morning. We've been talking about VAR. Wasn't missed yesterday. Should it be in the FA Cup? It comes back into play from the 5th round. Jordan, the Newcastle fan, is with us now. Jordan, good morning. You were at the game yesterday.
Hi, Jordan.
How are you doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Thanks.
Jordan, tell us, because obviously you won the game, so it doesn't feel so bad, but I think it would have been a bit of pill to swallow if you'd have lost it.
Well, it just takes the shine off it, doesn't it? Like, it's shopping decisions, really. Obviously, I was sat right in line where the offside one. You could see three of them were offside.
Yeah.
And shopping. Then obviously, that Digne should have been sent off. That was quite close to where I was sitting. And the handball, that was ridiculous. That, like, he never even left the box, so I don't know where the referee got his decision that he was outside the box.
Yeah. Have you? What are you, Jordan? Are you a fan of before yesterday's decisions? Was you a fan of VAR, or were you much more on the side of just let refs ref the game? Because yesterday that didn't work out so good.
I just think the standard refereeing in this country is shocking. Like, I've been seeing Newcastle in Europe and that, and it's like night and day, the standard of refereeing between English and the European refereeing. Shocking. And then they rely on it now. It's like, I don't think the referee didn't know what to do with the linesmen because they've got nothing to back them up now. Do you know what I mean? It's like they've got to make their own decisions for them.
Yeah, it was really poor. I mean, you can't really defend how bad it was, and we're listening to pundits yesterday on air saying this is where VAR should be in the FA Cup, and then we're calling for it to go, so maybe it's the example that we needed, but also, as you mentioned there, Jordan, the referee's not doing a good enough job, Kath.
Well, no, it wouldn't.
How did he miss some of it?
Well, you can miss one, maybe two at best, but once you get to 4 or 5 really crucial decisions, then obviously you're going to be a scapegoat, and Chris Kavanagh, ref yesterday, Look, he's going to have a long weekend because there's a lot for him and his officials alongside him as well that they got wrong.
Yeah, completely agree. 81089, you can keep your messages coming in. Cass was saying that put out there is Dominic Szoboszlai possibly better than Steven Gerrard for Liverpool. Gerrard didn't win the league, Szoboszlai has.
Yeah. No, look, and he hasn't won the Champions League and Gerrard has. And look, the age of Dominic Szoboszlai is 25 and there's still a lot more to come. But he reminds me of the sort of performance this year. Steven Gerrard's biggest, I think, attribute to Liverpool was not only was he a great player, that you felt that without Gerrard, could Liverpool have won the Champions League? The answer is no, they couldn't, because he was so inspirational for the team. And now I'm watching Szoboszlai this year. If Liverpool are going to win any trophy, he's the main reason why they can.
I think that's fair. I think that's a very fair point.
And that's why I'm saying, how do Liverpool fans feel between the two of them? Look, they're two great midfielders, that's sure. But if you look at when he was at Salzburg and when he was at RB Leipzig, he was absolutely top of his game on these clubs as well. That's why he ended up at Anfield, because of how he played in Austria and in Hungary. Or Germany, sorry.
Liverpool fans, let us know your thoughts. 81089. We're into the business end now of the Winter Games over in Milan Cortina. Team GB finally have our first medal. What else is happening out there? Good morning to our correspondent Michael Waydock. Michael, how you doing?
Good morning. Morning, Shebahn. Morning,
Michael.
Tony.
Wow, what a beautiful backdrop there. Hold on a minute. Is this a backdrop that you've put on the screen, or are you actually there?
I'm not actually outside the Duomo at the moment, but I have been outside the Duomo. It is just a stunning looking Winter Games. I'm just back from Cortina, so I've had a couple of days up in the mountains to go and see Matt Weston, as you say, win that gold medal, but back in the centre of Milan because we had Niall Tracy in the speed skating final last night. And you're talking about VAR in the FA Cup. We've had VAR at the Winter Games as well. So Niall Tracy in his speed skating final last night, there was a bit of a crash. It went to VAR, and the video assistant referee had to come out into the centre of the ice. And unfortunately for Niall Tracy, he had a penalty, so he ended up finishing down in 9th. And we've had VAR and swearing at the curling as well. I was there
The curling stuff's kicking off.
The Swedes and the Canadians. Big row yesterday. So you had Mark Kennedy was telling a rival to whatever, I won't say that at this time of the morning.
There you, Michael.
Yeah, Oscar Eriksson was the Swede who accused Kennedy of double touching. So very briefly, in curling, you need to release the stone before the hog line. And that is the line across the ice. And the accusation was that once the stone had been released across the hog line, he was second touching it with the finger. And there, again, it went to VAR at the curling. There was a big row, but it seems that everything was above board. And there's been no further sort of rule breaking as far as we know.
It does look like he's double touched it though.
It does. Yeah, I mean, you look at the pictures, the side-on pictures, and they did bring an official actually to monitor it for the rest. And he does seem to release his stone, and then the little finger seems to just go out. And once the stone hits that hog line, although it might just be a feather-like touch, that is actually in breach of the rules. And yeah, looking at those TV replays, it does look like it. But as I said, the officials at the time didn't see anything too wrong.
Well, it just shows you, Michael, doesn't it? The fine lines of being successful or not is so often the tiniest, detail.
Yeah, and I tell you where that was really in evidence as far as Team GB were concerned this week was in the figure skating. Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson, they went there with their big Scottish-themed free dance. We had the Proclaimers and everything else going on. And there was just one little slip from Lila. Now, this is a routine that she will have done hundreds and hundreds of times, and she would only make that mistake once in every 500 times she does that routine, but she did it at the Olympics. They were tipped for a medal. They'd won a bronze medal at the Beijing Olympics. They've really captured the public imagination, I think, through what they do on social media and the content that they create as well. But that little slip, when it mattered, meant that they finished down in 7th.
That's a shame. You did feel for them. I mean, our interview was so raw afterwards. You could see the emotions coming over it. And we were speaking about it yesterday in the show. It's like holding it all together for that one performance. And those are the ones that you might have those slips. How was Mr. Matt Weston then? Was he in good form?
Well, he's the nicest man in the world, and nice things obviously do happen to nice guys, because he was just absolutely fantastic in that skeleton race. He broke the track record in each of his 4 runs. Now, they have practiced quite a lot on the track, the sliding centre up at Cortina that's been built for these games. But yeah, he just got better and better and better. And what he told me afterwards, that he was able to enjoy the victory because he knew that the last corner, the last bend, was actually a relatively easy one. So he thought he'd done enough. But when he crossed the line, he saw the green numbers. The green numbers mean that he knew he was fastest down the field. The last to go, of course, sitting at the top of the standings into that final run. He just dissolved into tears. And yeah, absolutely fantastic for him. He could win another gold medal later on today. Ooh. Because they've now got the mixed pairs, and he'll be going in that. And we're waiting to see what exactly the pairings will be, because Team GB have got 2 crews in that. So we know that Matt Weston and Marcus Wyatt, because there's only 2 men in the team, will definitely be sliding later. We're waiting to see which of the 2 women will be going after Tabby Stoker, who's a former acrobat, by the way, former trapeze artist, finished 5th in the women's skeleton last night.
Oh, by the way, you know when you're watching the games and you think, oh, I could do that?
No, you can't.
You've never been in the gym in your life. I was watching the Swedish skiing. What were they doing? She looked steaming. She comes off her skis, one's in her hand. I was watching it thinking, how she managed to make such a meal out of that, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, you watch some of that cross-country skiing. I know that we watch it and we jest and we joke and go, oh yeah, we could have a go at that. But
easy.
Yeah, 50 kilometres cross-country skiing. I mean, really? I mean, not just the event, but the thought of training for that. I mean, that just sounds absolutely horrendous, doesn't it? But yeah, that's going to be one of those moments that's replayed, isn't it, at the end of year sporting cock-ups.
Yeah.
When the tape gets shown and put together for 2026, the ski coming off, the carrying of the ski. I mean, we were all in Cortina in a room, and they had that on the big screen, and everybody was laughing their heads off, which I think's a little bit unkind, because let's be honest, we were struggling even to get to the lift up the mountain.
I think they came in silver or something anyway. Her name was Ebba Anderson. And like you say, it's 50k, but that's just one bit of the clip. You know, it's just one little bit, but you have to laugh. If not, you'll cry. Michael Waydock, thank you so much for your time, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Bye, Michael.
See you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All the best, Michael Waydock there, our Winter Olympics correspondent. Here's what else is coming up for you on talkSPORT today. 9 o'clock, it's the Sunday edition. We've got Henry Winter alongside Sean Custis today, and then 11 o'clock, the build-up for the first of our 4 live FA Cup commentaries. Birmingham against Leeds, that kicks off at lunchtime. 2 o'clock, then it's the build-up to our next commentary, Oxford versus Sunderland, and from 4 o'clock, Premier League leaders Arsenal take on Wigan. That's exclusively for you here on talkSPORT. And Majestic and Alan Pardew then back in the studio, taking all of your calls from the weekend's action before the Trans-Euro Express at 9. A full day here at talkSPORT. Download the talkSPORT app and take us anywhere with you on your Sunday. It's the Weekend Breakfast. Coming up next, we'll get into today's back pages.
Let's go to Alan, who's a Man City fan. All right, Al?
Yes, good evening. I've got a little song for you at the end for the Arsenal fans as well. But do you know what, Arsenal? Man City are a snake, and they've had their foot on our necks where we've been weak, and they should have cut our heads off and buried us in the sand, and they've not. And now we're going to come back and beat them, and we're going to win this title. And in a couple of weeks after we play them at the Etihad, when we give them a footballing lesson, you can ring me up and I'll come on the show again, because Man City are a better team to watch than what Arsenal are. And he's coming on. The
the Premier League trophies coming back to the Etihad. And listening to these Arsenal fans tonight, we are right in there then. All the memories of all the years previous are all coming flooding back. And we're going to win the league. And I'll give you my song now.
Go on in. Is it clean?
Crumbling again, ole.
Hello there, good morning. Thank you for listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Marseille striker Tony Cascarino. Oh, Cass, Harry Kane.
Again.
We've just been watching him on the big screen. He's made history by becoming the first Englishman to reach 500 professional goals in official games. I mean, does he get better?
Well, he's playing his best football and he seems really happy in Bayern. They're trying to get him to sign a new deal, and I'm sure he will. I think a lot rests on how they go in the Champions League, but he's been phenomenal out there. He's taken to Bayern and they've taken to him. He's a credit to professional footballers, I always feel, with Harry Kane.
He truly is. I still can't go over sometimes why people just diss him. I don't get it. In other news, Team GB's women's curlers kick-started their campaign with a superb first victory of these winter games, beating medal contenders Canada 7-6. And West Ham edged past League One side Burton 1-0. The Pirelli West Ham boss Nuno Espirito Santo was happy with the players that came in who had not played a match this season.
Not disappointed at all. I'm very fair to analyze the things. What was important that players that had not so much rhythm had a chance to play, get 90 minutes on their legs, feeling the competition, because we're going to need them moving forward. So in that aspect, I'm really, really pleased with the way the players interpret the interpretation of the game.
Yeah, more good stuff from Nuno Cass. A big win for West Ham.
Yeah,
got the job done.
And look, it was a tough game at Burton. It was typical of a team. If you're not at it and you're not competing with the lower league team, you're going to get yourself in trouble. West Ham stayed in the game. It was a really good game and it goes to extra time. And look, obviously, you're seeing Somerville. He's playing really well for West Ham at the moment.
Magic.
And gets a little bit fortunate, a deflection with his effort. But it goes in the goal and look, you move on. That's what West Ham have done. Big victory for them.
Into the next round, West Ham go. It's time now to look at the back pages.
That's so good, that song, Sam, when you come in.
There you go, you see. That's it. And it all goes downhill from here. No.
A bit like the skiers, all downhill.
Yeah, right. Thank you very much.
With one ski in your hand.
Well, apart from the Swedish skier.
Yeah.
Downhill rather too quickly, didn't she? And then had to sort of collect herself. Have you been enjoying the Winter Olympics?
Yeah,
I've actually caught quite a bit of it, and I just marvel at some of the feats that they can do. It's just like Friday on snow, and like seeing them doing 50k, and just madness, and then shooting and all this in the same. It's just exercise. It's just incredible.
I quite fancy a go at the skeleton. We never had a chance to do stuff like that at school, did we?
Is that the one you could do? Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't. Oh, yeah. I'd be an expert. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Where I grew up near Bath, they had a skeleton track there. Funny enough, at the university, it's like, I think they're one of the only ones in the country.
There you go.
So it's like a mock track. Obviously, didn't have any snow, but I think they used it as like a kind of slide. And I've always thought to myself, I missed out on that in another life. I would have been a
like you just got to have a go at these things and fall into it, and then all of a sudden you could be an Olympian.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, some of it has just been unbelievable to watch. I mean, the figure skating for me, I'm just jaw on the floor.
Yeah. Well, they've gone from treble sort of somersaults, haven't they, to like
quads and
yeah,
and all this,
backflips and what have you. How do you do that? Never mind.
Was it a 4.5 quads the other day that someone did?
It's crazy, isn't it? It's
how do they do that?
Pushing it to new limits every time, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Continues to develop.
Yeah, no, it's been absolutely brilliant. though. I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
Let's talk about your mate Alison Rudd, Cass.
Yes.
From the Times.
Alison.
Interesting piece on Thomas Frank this morning. Frank should be the most in-demand manager in football. He just needs a relatively calm club, she says. The only criticism of his move from Brentford to Tottenham Hotspur was that the Dane had no big club experience and that the media spotlight of being in charge of Spurs would be a shock to his system and one that he might struggle with. Well, now he knows all about the things that were alien to him. He understands that fan bases can be entitled and cruel and impatient, that not all clubs are run as a streamlined and sustainable model like Brentford, that having 11 senior players injured does not give you licence to play defensively in the hope of securing a few precious points, that being realistic and pragmatic can be misinterpreted as lacking in imagination. In the coming weeks, Frank will exhale and assess his 8 months at Tottenham and maybe even smile ruefully. Many of his doubters wondered if he could navigate the Champions League having had no experience of European competition, and yet the fact he left Spurs with the club above Real Madrid, Barcelona and Manchester City in the final standings in a very solid fourth spot was entirely overlooked by his detractors. What do you make of that?
Yeah, Alison makes some really valid points, and Tottenham as a club, it feels like there's an entitlement there to some level, and they've been, they've not really been a top six club, have they?
No.
In recent history. But if you look at their results and where they've finished up, and the last 2 seasons have been disastrous, because big clubs come back quick, especially abroad. If you look at what Barcelona and Real Madrid, if they have a disappointing season, and that's coming third or fourth, and I'm not comparing Tottenham to Barcelona and Real Madrid, but there's certainly a club with the infrastructure to be one of the biggest clubs in the country.
Yeah.
I mean,
if not the biggest.
Ange said it on Stick to Football. They are not a big club. Everywhere you go, it's, dare to do and dare to dream and all this, but their actions show otherwise. They act like a big club.
One of the things that you have to do to carry on success is you have to outbid your opposition. And I don't mean just on transfer fees, I mean on wages.
Yeah.
That, in the 80s, Liverpool were known to be one of the best payers. They were dominating in 80s football. By the time the 90s come, it becomes sort of Manchester United.
Yeah.
And then they become the dominant force. Well, that's the same in different countries. The best payers in France are PSG. They've taken over from Monaco and Marseille. Marseille, when they were successful, they were the best payers in France. Now, I know that has a shallow sort of argument to it, but the best payers generally, as in the contracts you can put in players, you can entice the best players to come.
And the league tables generally at the end of seasons, you see they have the shape of the highest wage payers will generally be at the top.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And Spurs aren't anywhere near there at the moment.
No, they're a long way short. They might pay the 50 to 60 million, but Spurs are not going to do what Arsenal have done, the £100 million player, what Liverpool have done, and what Man United did, not to them levels in the past, but in the past they would pay the record fees. Fergie broke the record fee numerous times.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Numerous times when he was a manager. From Gary Pallister, I think he paid a record for Fabian Barthez when he was a goalkeeper, but many other players.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But you have to do that.
Yeah, if you want to attract the very, very best, you will have to do it.
And interestingly, the man who's replaced Thomas Frank, Igor Tudor, is arriving tomorrow. It signed on the dotted line officially yesterday, but we knew that was happening, didn't we, until the end of the season. And it's a wonder, Shebahn, whether or not he's going to slide down a bit of a hole as he arrives at the training ground, because there's a list here in The Sun, in Harry Redknapp's column, Tudor, the firefighter, suggesting that he's done a great job where he's gone in places where he's come in sort of for a limited run. His points per game when he's taken over clubs who have been struggling has actually been generally really, really good. Okay. So that bodes well for Spurs. But it's a risk, isn't it, bringing in a manager with no Premier League experience?
Of course. I mean, I can't understand why they've gone for this guy. No, nobody really can. Maybe it's just because of how he does in the situations that he's in. But you look at managers in the Premier League like this season, like Reggie Lebree, he got relegated from the last team that he was at. They were relegated, and now look what he's doing with Sunderland. So sometimes you can slot in there quite nicely and change the culture and move up the table. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on him, yet you can't expect a lot from him because he's never been in the Premier League. But you would imagine he understands the task at hand, and Spurs are a basket case, so good luck, mate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, it's a short-term solution in my mind, and sometimes that can work for you as well.
Yeah, exactly that. Harry Redknapp says, the message for Tudor now is similar to the one that I used when I arrived at White Hart Lane in 2008. We had fantastic players whose confidence was on the floor, having not won any of their first 8 league games. So the first thing I did was to lift the spirits. He talks about key players. He was lucky enough to have Luka Modric and Gareth Bale in the squad. Spurs would love players like that.
What's his first game, Sam? Off the top, do you know?
Arsenal.
It's the North London derby next Sunday. I mean, welcome.
I feel like he has to get off to a winning start.
It's a good job he's a firefighter, because that'll be a baptism of fire, won't it?
Oh, wow.
Spurs next week. Yeah, unbelievable stuff. And, of course, loads of talk about the Kolkata Cup all over the papers yesterday. Fantastic. Oh, today, after a brilliant victory for Scotland yesterday. A much-needed one, that, for Gregor Townsend, isn't it, Shebahn? Because Scotland, I think, have been under a bit of pressure coming into this tournament. So
absolutely, but we said it yesterday, Sam, these are the games that we got up for. If anything, now it's like, right, Scotland need to kick on from here. Can't always just rely on the Kolkata Cup to start shining in the Six Nations. But an amazing performance for them all the same. They were absolutely brilliant in England. Maybe a bit nervous, maybe felt the pee.
But also worth pointing out that losing to Italy isn't the great disgrace it once was. I mean, look how difficult it was for Ireland yesterday. They just about overcame them. So
who would have imagined Ireland winning by, they won, but by not that many points.
Yeah, exactly that.
And Alfie Reynolds is going to be with us a little bit later on. He's up in Edinburgh, covered the game yesterday for us.
And of course the VAR stuff, which we'll talk about in the next hour. Plenty of VAR chat on the papers this morning.
Lovely jubbly. You're listening to the Weekend Sports Breakfast. Coming up next, we'll touch on that Newcastle win at Villa Park yesterday. Good morning.
Labour MPs, they say, listen, Keir, your position is untenable. This is all about appointing that rat, Peter Mandelson.
We've now had another resignation from number 10. The plot is sickening, the noose is tightening.
His failings are internal. He's useless, incompetent, has no political judgment.
This is all part of Starmer's reset, getting rid of his inner circle. So Chris Wormold, we think fairly reluctantly, has stepped down.
What an absolutely crazy week for Keir Starmer. His second cabinet secretary, gone. His third chief of staff, gone. His fourth director of communications, gone.
What do you get when some of the most individual sports stars club together? Well, a melting pot of history, tension, rivalry, friendship and elite stories. Here are some of the best off-camera anecdotes from the Ryder Cup. Number 1, Tiger's loo roll. The protagonist, Lee Westwood's former caddy, Billy Foster, said in a toilet cubicle at the Belfry. As he went to relieve his first morning nerves, Foster noticed only one of the 2 cubicles had loo roll, and while he was seated, in came a tiger into the empty cubicle, and he realised his mistake all too late. So Foster took some paper, reached under the cubicle with a rescue offering, and as Tiger went to take it, Foster uttered the words, "Europe, 1 up." As it happened, Europe did go on to win. Fast forward 10 years to the miraculous Medina when, after a gruelling Saturday, Rory McIlroy overslept on the Sunday and was in danger of missing his tee time. Thankfully for him, the person booking player transport was Erica Stoll. She sorted him a police escort to the course. 3 years later, McIlroy proposed in Paris. The next story is told by Scottish legend Sam Torrance about the great Seve, who apparently despised the Americans mainly because of a diminutive US reporter who kept calling him Steve.
Hey, my name is Severiano Jose. It's no Steve, it's no Steve. Next day, Steve.
Torrance also tells of how Seve regularly gave coaching clinics to his European teammates, but a week later at the Italian Open, when the same players asked for advice, Seve would tell them to and see you next year. Having started with a Billy Foster story, let's finish with one from the 12th tee at Oakland Hills in 2004. It was Jimenez and Garcia against Westwood and Clark in a practice round, and as they finished, Foster decided to jump in the buggy and speed away with all their clubs, only to lose control entirely and tumble onto the course and see it careering towards the spectators. Thankfully, the Red Sea parted and the buggy smashed into a tree, with viewers and clubs still intact.
Good morning. Welcome along to talkSPORT. It's the weekend breakfast. My name's Shebahn Aherne, alongside former Chelsea striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Well, Nigel Clough's Mansfield caused the shock of the FA Cup fourth round, coming from a goal down to defeat Premier League's Burnley. It was a good night for the Radfords.
It'll make Valentine's night really nice tonight, wouldn't it, if we win?
Oh,
It
that would be lovely.
amazing.
Or it could not be. Well, it was lovely. We're going to hear from Caroline and John Ranford, sorry, on their day after their team won against Burnley yesterday in the Cup. Pure romance. We'll look back on all of yesterday's action as well as all that's happening today. We've got 4 more FA Cup commentaries, starting with Birmingham hosting Leeds at lunchtime, and Daniel Farker says he won't take any unnecessary risks.
We want to go into the next round and want to see how far we can come. So I'm a big believer in cup competition without doing anything stupid.
And today, Oxford take on Sunderland. It's also live on talkSPORT from 2 o'clock. Unlike Daniel Farker, Regis Labrie says he will be putting out a strong side.
FA Cup, one of the most iconic in English football. Like we did against Everton, we want to go strong.
Get involved this morning. What did you say?
I said sometimes the way my brain works.
What did you say? What did I say?
I was just laughing because I was just thinking of something completely different about Mansfield. But anyway.
Oh, okay. Get involved with the show this morning. Do we need VAR?
What, for this show?
We probably do. Yeah, we'd probably be banned for life. 3717 223344. It's the number. 810 if you want to get in touch. Good morning. It's the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. What?
It was just funny. I was just laughing. There's something because we had the owners on, didn't we, yesterday from Mansfield, and it was just.
So John's the owner.
Yeah.
Carolyn, his wife, is the chief exec.
Yeah.
At the club, and they were on the show yesterday in really good spirits.
Yeah.
But it all got a bit romantic, didn't it? And he leaned in and gave her a kiss. And then they won, so we would imagine it was a really good Valentine's Day for the Radfords.
Yeah, well, probably the best ever for them.
Yeah.
You know, what a day for, for the fans of Mansfield, and you go up to Burnley and you get a result, and then they go up as a couple, and you just want to enjoy the day and just hope they can come our way with some incredible victory, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And the winning goal was just an extraordinary strike.
It was beautiful from Lou Reed. It was absolutely brilliant. Some great moments yesterday in the fourth round of the FA Cup. You can let us know your thoughts. Marching on at the fifth round, of course, Liverpool and Villa. Will touch on their wins yesterday as well. Sorry, Liverpool and Newcastle. Newcastle beat Villa.
Yeah, Villa. Yeah.
Easy for me to say. Let's go up the road, shall we, Cass? Because it's a big day today in the Scottish Premiership. First and second place sides come head to head on Sunday. Rangers welcome Hearts to Ibrox. Rangers campaign so far, let's just say we could kind of split it into 2 phases. The first half of the season, an absolute train wreck, and then Hearts have just been going so strong this season. Rangers really putting in a push for the title as well. Let's get more on this with Martin Douglas of the Rangers Rabble podcast. Good morning, Martin. How are you?
Hi, Martin.
Morning, Tony. Morning, Shebahn. How are we?
Good to hear from you, Martin. Listen, I'm going to say it. I've never wanted Rangers to win in my life, but I hope Rangers win today, Martin, because it might just help us out a little bit.
Yeah, it's a strange one, and it depends on who you talk to. Rangers supporters say, well, if it's not going to be us, we want it to be Hearts, and Celtic supporters are saying, well, if it's not going to be us, we want it to be Hearts. But it's really, really tricky. I don't fear this fixture. I fear the away games that we've been playing in. If you look back to the Hibs game, Rangers were awful.
Right.
If you look back to the other night against Motherwell were the better team. Motherwell played us off the park, but at Ibrox we seem to be okay. Yeah. So today doesn't really worry me, Shebahn, Tony. It's the away games that we seem to be struggling in.
So what have you made it under Danny Roll, as in, the way that you play? I mean, obviously you had a style at the start of the season that was absolutely 100% possession of the football in dangerous areas. But where are Rangers today? Do you think if you won today, you're capable of making a real fist of it in the challenge for the SPL?
I struggle to say that we had any sort of style of play under Russell Martin, to be brutally honest. No, even if we don't win today, I still think we're in a title race. I think if you look at Hearts over the last few weeks, they've scraped by, but they're still getting the wins. I think even Shebahn would admit that in the last few games, Celtic haven't exactly been on top form as well. But
been leaving it late, haven't we?
The difference about Shebahn with Celtic and Hearts is they're getting the wins. Regardless of how they're playing, they're getting the wins. We are not. That's the big difference. Look, Rangers do need to win. If we don't win today, the title race isn't over, because I do believe Celtic and Hearts will both drop points. But yeah, I suppose we do need to win. I'm trying to be as positive as I can.
Martin, has it ever happened before that the two big clubs in Scotland, Rangers and Celtics, have lost the manager in the same season? Has that ever happened before?
Not to my knowledge, Cass,
I don't think it has.
I just, because it feels like it's been you're never going to forget the season of 25-26, because so much has happened in Scotland, hasn't it?
I mean, to be fair to Tony Bloom, he's come into Scottish football and kind of turned it on its head. And I think a lot of us laughed at the start of the season when he says, "No, I'm in here to do a job at Hearts, and I'm here to get Hearts to not just split the Old Firm, but go on and eventually challenge for the title and win the league." So I think a lot of credit has to go to Tony Bloom. But at the same time, Rangers and Celtic, I don't know if you would agree, Shebahn, have been at points this season rather embarrassing. And I think the only reason that that we are back in a title race is because of Celtic's decision to bring Nancy in.
Yeah, I mean, and what a shocker they had in making that decision. I was up with...
Great decision, Shebahn.
Great for you, for sure. Bring back Russell Martin. I mean, it's just been a basket case of a season, hasn't it, Martin? Because obviously for it all to happen in 1 year, with Tony Bloom at Hearts, with Hearts being currently top of the league, and the job that he's doing, with Russell Martin coming in and being so poor at the club, with Wilfred Nancy coming in and being so poor at the club, for all of this to happen in one season, and Martin O'Neill returning twice, you couldn't write that. You would never have envisaged that in Scottish football this season. But everyone's talking about it. It's got everybody elsewhere really interested. So yeah, credit to Tony Bloom for that. And considering he said he had a 10-year plan to turn it on its head, and there's a very real possibility they might win the league now. It's crazy. Now, Celtic, we've got a game in hand on you. If we were to win both of these games, hopefully we would be pushing then ourselves up into the top spot. That's if Hearts lose to you guys today. So do us a favour, will you, Martin?
I'll absolutely try my best. I think you can just about guarantee that the game in hand Celtic have got, they will probably win, because, I mean, Shebahn, it's against Aberdeen. So Celtic very, very rarely lose against Aberdeen, but you still need to come to Ibrox.
This is true. Yeah.
It's a really strange thing to say. Celtic don't really worry me that much, because I really don't think Celtic are playing that well. Going away to places like Fir Park worry me more than playing against Celtic, and as strange and as odd as it seems to say Hearts as well, because I don't think Hearts are in the greatest form, but they're winning games.
But they're missing a few key players as well, and you wondered if they've got enough by the time the split comes to keep going for the rest of the season. But it sounds like we're all in agreement that we can take our hat off to Hearts and what they've done this season. Martin, are you confident of a result today? Do you want to give us a prediction?
Yeah, I'm confident, but I'm also
you don't sound it.
Yeah, but I'm confident, but I'm also aware that I'm on national radio. So, and the last time that I spoke to you, Tony, I said that it was towards the start of the season, and I was raging that we dropped points at Motherwell, and I said that Motherwell were one of the teams that I thought were going to get relegated.
How good are they? How good are they?
They're so good. They're so good. I think you could possibly be looking Shebahn at the next Celtic manager, if I'm being brutally honest.
Do you know, that's not a bad call at all, Martin. He's absolutely fabulous. They're playing so well. A really interesting season all the same.
Yeah, it has. It's been a real big talking point.
It's great for Scottish football. It's great for Scotland. Not for Rangers or Celtic fans, because we haven't been great. But look, like you said, Shebahn, look at the eyes that it's putting on the Scottish game. And I've had many conversations about what does Scottish football need to do to improve, and a lot of that comes down to what Scottish teams do in Europe. You know, what your Aberdeens, your Hibs, your Motherwells do. They need to start getting better results in Europe. And hopefully with Tony Bloom coming in, you've got obviously American owners, I think, in at Dundee United as well. But stuff like that starts to improve. But the main thing is that Rangers get back to winning leagues.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you today, Martin. Genuinely, I'm a bit like, I've never ever said this, and we're on national radio, but I kind of hope Rangers can do a job on Hearts today, just so we can kind of close the gap ourselves, and hopefully we get a win against Kilmarnock today as well. Martin Douglas from the Rangers Rabble podcast, thank you.
Cheers, Martin.
Have a good
Cheers,
day
Tony.
today.
Cheers.
Oh, if my dad could get a hand on me now. What are you doing saying that on the radio? Pretty fascinating. No, I was up in Glasgow on Thursday doing the Celtic FC Foundation night.
Right.
And Martin O'Neill was there, and we had a lovely chat, and he spoke about the stress of it, you know, the stress that comes with this, and he cannot switch off from it.
Just stress living there when it's all happening. Do you know what really shocked me when I moved? I lived in Bothwell, which is just on the outside of Glasgow, and near Hamilton, and everybody I met was either Rangers or Celtic. Yeah. It felt like there didn't exist any other people that supported other teams when I was there. Not a Motherwell or, which is central Glasgow, really, isn't it? And Clyde or whoever. And I just found it just so difficult to get my head round that if a guy come to deliver your postman, he would be a Rangers fan, your Celtic fan for your electrician, and all the people you meet along the way.
It's one of the first questions you ask or you are asked.
Yeah.
When you meet a Glaswegian, somebody from Glasgow. It's just Glasgow. So what side are you? What side are you? What are you then? It's always the question. And quite often you'll know from the colour that they're wearing, names, whatever like that.
Well, I lived on Bothwell Golf Course. You know Bothwell Golf Course? Yeah. And I was told that was a Rangers golf course. What do you mean a Rangers golf course? Can't anyone play if you pay the fee? Yeah. Well, it's not so easy.
It's funny. I was
at that time.
When I'm born in a Celtic family, my dad's Celtic daft and love Celtic Football Club. But when I worked in Glasgow on the radio, you weren't allowed to say if you were a Celtic or Rangers fan. It was like the unwritten rule. You couldn't speak about it because it's so divisive.
Yeah.
And radio up there in Glasgow. So
people will take an instant dislike you because you were either one or the other.
Yeah, it could be a problem. So you just didn't. Yeah. So I would always be Man United.
So you ran away and come to England.
Man United in Glasgow, and you could. So that's the name. Everyone goes, how many teams you got? It's like, well, you couldn't, where I'm from, often say on air that you were a Celtic fan without it causing a bit of trouble. Or if you were a Rangers fan, it could cause a bit of trouble. It really is the way of life up there, and what is happening up there just now in the Scottish League is just blowing everybody's mind. But Rangers Hearts today, 4:30. The updates on Game Day Live for that one, and then of course 2:00 Kilmarnock take on Celtic. Come on, boys. Coming up for you next, we'll discuss Aston Villa Newcastle yesterday. Is the FA Cup really better without VAR?
Thomas Tuchel signing a contract, is it because of the fact that the FA were concerned he was going to go somewhere else?
Listen, I think it is. I certainly think he was on Manchester United's list. Who knows, maybe he would have been on Tottenham's list as well. And I think that's why they had to get this done, because what you don't want, if you're the FA, and if you're an England fan, you don't want Thomas Tuchel going into the World Cup with constant speculation that he could be leaving for a Premier League club job at the end of the tournament. I think getting that out of the way, he can focus on the job in hand. I don't think England will win the World Cup. I think there's a lot that counts against England winning this World Cup.
What happens if we lose in the quarterfinals? Does he continue as England manager?
I think I don't think we should underestimate if he gets to the quarterfinal of a World Cup. When you go back pre-Gareth Southgate, which is your argument, we'd have bitten your hand off at the quarterfinal of a World Cup.
Are you going to defend me on that?
No, I'll defend you because I think Gareth Southgate should have won a European Championship. I think they should have beaten Italy.
cannot steal the moves, DJ. Gonna burn this goddamn house right down.
Good morning. Weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne Tony Cascarino. A little bit of murder on the dance floor. Apparently, Brits are going mad for murder mystery breaks.
Right, okay.
Yeah, holiday companies say there's been a huge surge in people booking crime-cation trips.
Well, it's all these programmes like Traitors and things like this. It's all based on... people just love all that, the intrigue, mystery. They love it.
Yeah. I mean... It's not for me. Because I would think something real would happen. Like, what if something took a turn and got a bit...
I haven't done one, but I know I've had family members that have, and they've had a great time. They really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Meant to be very, very good fun.
Yeah.
Would you, Mrs. Cass, going to be murder mystery weekend?
No, because I'd probably be the one being murdered.
Come home in a box.
No, I'd love to do it. Hey, the weekends, Shebahn. What's the weekends like, really, doing this job?
I know.
I mean, I know people are not going to feel sorry for us in any shape or form. We're very fortunate, I know. But it is quite draining on your social life, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard to have a social life.
I don't really have one anyway.
No, I likewise, as I've got older, my whole weekend is taken up with football. And obviously other sports that you keep an eye over.
See, this is why I think we should get you on TikTok, because then you can kind of stay across everything without having to be all in. So like true crime, for example, on TikTok, some of the things now that people produce and make on TikTok, I'm like,
right.
Fascinating.
Yeah, different world.
Yeah, but I'll book us a little crime-cation for one. We're both off at Easter, so we could go and do that together in Ireland.
I'm going to Poker Festival with Easter off.
Right, cheers for the invite. Aston Villa defeated by Newcastle last night. Ended up 3-1. Newcastle beat Villa. Just quickly, let's take a quick call from Kyle, the Mansfield fan who was at Turf Moor yesterday.
Oh.
Good morning, Kyle. Happy days.
Kyle.
Good morning. How are we?
We're good. Not as good as you.
Oh, absolutely fantastic that yesterday. Absolutely fantastic. It beats. We went and watched. We went to the second round and we stood at Accrington away. And I've never been so cold and wet in all my life. There's no roof on the away end there. We were dripped to the bones. It went to penalties. And I thought pretty much yesterday the same thing was going to happen. I couldn't tell you the last time we scored a free kick. Never mind the one that we did.
I was going to add on, Cole, even, you won 4-3 at Sheffield United as well, didn't you?
It was phenomenal. Well, it got a bit twitchy because we got 4-1 up and then we started to give it away a bit and you thought, oh no, we're invested in this now. We can do this. When you think, but, we ran them ragged there. We played incredibly well. And yesterday, Burnley could have been 3 or 4. They missed the chances. We took us chances yesterday and defended and worked incredibly hard.
Oh, did you fall off there? Kyle, lovely.
No,
you're still there. Sorry, I thought you were going to...
No, we're here, man.
Oh, brilliant. Listen, we're buzzing for you. It was a massive result. Like we say, we had the owners on yesterday, so they're going to join us a little bit later on. Who do you want in the next round?
Ideally, I'll go Liverpool away. I travel every game I go to is an away game because I live in Ellesmere Port. All my friends are Liverpool fans.
Top man.
I'd like to go Anfield and let's do them there.
Oh, lovely.
Ellesmere Port, where's that? Where's that, Carl? Whereabouts?
On the Wirral. It's just
okay.
Liverpool.
Okay, on the Wirral. Yeah, I've got it now.
Lovely.
I hadn't heard that place before. That's all.
Kyle, thank you so much. Thanks for giving us a call this morning.
Cheers, Kyle.
Enjoy the celebrations, Kyle, the Mansfield fan there at the game yesterday. Wanting Liverpool in the next round.
Well, if he's on the Wirral, he absolutely wants Liverpool.
2 wins in a week, by the way, for Newcastle. Yesterday, Tammy Abraham gave Villa the early lead before Marco Bizot's brainless red card left the hosts with 10 men before half-time. The Toon then turned the screw in the second half. It was 2 goals from Tonali, who was excellent yesterday. Another from Voltamada saw them through to round 5. But the big talking point from the Gamecast was the lack of VAR. It's something we're relentlessly calling for. Get rid of VAR. We're over it. We're finished with it. It needs to be better. We didn't have it yesterday, but actually there were a number of occasions where it could have come in handy. Abraham's goal should have been ruled offside. Newcastle had a blatant penalty turned down in the second half and Luca Digne clearly handled it inside the box, only for the referee Chris Kavanagh to judge the offence was outside the box. Luca Digne also lucky not to be sent off earlier on as well. Ironically, it led to the equaliser, but the decision was still clearly wrong. Cass, did you prefer watching it? Was it one of those things?
Look, I mean, we haven't really talked. There's one decision they did get right. It was the sending off of the keeper.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, come on, man.
I mean,
What are you
I don't
doing?
know what he's had a complete brainstorm. You know, literally that moment. What are you doing? And he's taken out Jacob Murphy, and that was the right decision. But there was a number of other ones that obviously they were scrutinised and just poor decisions. Look, Chris Kavanagh's going to know the weekend and the reaction to it. That it wasn't. If it's one, you're a little bit more forgiving. But when it starts going past two, and there was probably 3 or 4 really poor decisions yesterday.
Do you think they should use EFL referees in the FA Cup? Because
Fair
they're more
point.
used to it.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, because this is human error. But it was, look, players have bad days and make terrible mistakes, and they get 4s and 5s in the paper or get criticism. The referee was poor yesterday.
Yeah.
So was his officials. I didn't think they helped him either, because the one for the penalty when Digne handballs it, the linesman has got to be all over that. So it's not all on Chris Kavanagh. The linesman's got to help him there, because he's looking straight across. He's literally in front of the Newcastle fans who are looking across the pitch, and he can see that that's a pen.
Yeah, it was so poor, but credit to Newcastle, because everything was going against them. Okay, then Villa go down to 10, but considering they couldn't get a decision going their way yesterday, in the end, a big win, and Tonali was outstanding. Good to see Voltemada scoring again, because it had been, 13 games since his last?
He's been, and they were scrutinising him on the TV about his performance and where he's positioning him. He's not doing what centre forwards are meant to do. You know, as in getting in positions around the 18-yard box. And for his goal, that was one of the only occasions where he got into a position where the ball's bouncing around just outside the 6-yard box, and he's got a chance to score, and he scores.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he wasn't doing that. He wasn't doing that in the first half. He wasn't getting in positions of danger for the opposition. He was being seen 10 yards back, or if a ball's getting whipped across the face of the goal, he's not even looking to get on the end of it. Yeah. And that was that's going to be a problem for him. He's going to have to make them type of runs. If he wants to get goals, and a lot of goals, there's no good him sitting on the 18-yard box, on the edge of the 18-yard box, waiting for it to be pulled back. When both wingers were fizzing things. Harvey Barnes was doing it. Jacobs Murphy was doing it, fizzing things across the face of the goal. He's got to take a chance.
So was it better to not have VAR?
Oh, was it better? Well, no, the obvious reason to answer yes is no, it wasn't better.
Because the officials were poor.
Yeah, the officiating was poor yesterday.
Okay, we'll keep looking back on what happened yesterday in the 4th round of the FA Cup, and preview what's coming up for you today. Lots of it live for you here on the talkSPORT network. But coming up next, we're going to be joined by our Band of the Month. Stick on the YouTube channel or the Smart TV, because Sunbeam are here in the studio.
You know, when you walk into Tottenham, what you see everywhere is to dare is to do. It's everywhere. And yet their actions are almost the antithesis of that. Right. It's a real curious in terms of understanding what are they trying to build? You know, what are they? Is it... There's obviously, they've built an unbelievable stadium, unbelievable training facilities. But when you look at the expenditure, particularly, you know, in their wages structure, they're not a big club. I saw that because when we were trying to sign players, we weren't in the market for those players.
I was stunned. I was absolutely... I thought it was disgraceful.
Did you?
I thought, honestly, I couldn't believe what I was listening to. The club have given him £7 million. He's blaming everyone but himself.
No, they got him a trophy.
Yes, but for his sacking, he's blaming everyone. But when I sat down on the day of the final, Daniel Levy comes up to me and goes, "I've been in 8 semi-finals and final." We all laughed.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? That's his fault.
I don't want to know that. That should be private.
No.
He's giving you... Honestly, he didn't blame himself. Did he ever say, "I wasn't that good"?
No. No, but
let me tell you now, if you're listening, Ange, I know you won't, but if you're listening, the reason you were the worst.
Hello there, good morning. It's the Weekend Breakfast on talkSPORT. My name is Shebahn Aherne. Former Marseille striker Tony Cascarino is here. Some of your headlines: Preston came from behind to secure a 2-2 draw to deny Ed Still victory in his first game as Watford's new head coach. Mark Robins hopes that Stoke's decline in form, an unprecedented injury crisis, will not affect the morale in the Potters' camp. 10 injured players now if they've got Fulham in the FA Cup. That's hard, isn't it? And live on talkSPORT 2, Day 2 of the Formula E World Championship. It took place in Jeddah. talkSPORT's racing correspondent John Jackson has got the latest. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Shebahn. Good morning, Big Tony Cascarino. I am still here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. 2 epic races in the Formula E World Championship, and we have a bit of British interest because Jaguar TCS racing driver Antonio Felix da Costa won the latest race, the second of 2. British pioneers of motorsport with a Portuguese driver, and then on Friday, of course, we have Pascal Wehrlein winning. He now leads the championship as we head into the next race in Madrid in the middle of March. You can listen to highlights if you missed any of that action from 11 p.m. on talkSPORT 2 on Monday. We're staying here a bit later because there's a thing today called the Evo Sessions. Formula E basically putting 10 of the world's biggest creators in the car that the drivers were driving only a matter of hours ago to see if they are any good. And one of those drivers is Richard Hammond's daughter, Izzy Hammond, who's a massive star in her own right. She's got a massive YouTube channel, does a lot of car videos, some with her dad. And she spoke to me yesterday and she's feeling a little bit apprehensive because, as she points out, they don't have a great history when they get into high-powered cars, do they?
He's more terrified than I am. And as Hammonds, our reputation in fast yellow cars isn't great. So as long as I can do sort of not as badly as he did, we'll be all right.
Well, you know what? Only a few hours to go until we find out whether Izzy Hammond has what it takes to be a Formula E driver. Loads of other creators involved, including Cabby Lame and loads of guys from the Sidemen as well. That's live on Formula E's YouTube channel from 3:30 if you like the sound of that. And as I mentioned, we are racing next in Madrid. It's on March the 21st, so a few weeks away. But in the meantime, check out the talkSPORT Driving YouTube channel for all the behind-the-scenes action. And coming up next, we'll be in Australia for the start of the F1 season.
Lovely jubbly. John Jackson there from all the action. talkSPORT 2, 11 p.m. Monday evening to relive the race and all the action there. For more, jump onto the talkSPORT Driving YouTube channel. Okay, let's do this. love our live music here at talkSPORT. We've had more and more performances here in the studio. Following Robbie Williams last week on Drive. Welcome to the studio, Sunbeam. We've got Jimmy and Nikki with us from the band. Hello, guys. How are you?
You were digging that there, Tony, weren't you?
It sounds like a tune.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It must be lovely hearing your song on the radio. Is that becoming more and more normal?
Yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah, like when you're writing the song, you get sick of it in the end because you know you're just trying to get it perfect, and then when it's out there, it's a good feeling.
How long does it take to write? So I mean, look, the different people will always say, "Oh, that took me 20 minutes," and you sort of think, "Yeah, okay." Generally, writing must be a lot harder and a lot more difficult.
I mean, every song's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some do come like
just naturally,
literally 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then others we've got like years of work into certain ones, and it's just different for every song, really.
We could write you one now, but it just might not be any good. That's
it'd be awful. Yeah.
Dare you?
Yeah.
Listen, you're from Whitby. You're
Whitby.
Leeds fans, right?
Yeah.
So are you going to try and get back home for the game today?
Well, I think we're gonna have to watch it on the train. I think. Yeah.
That's one way to do it.
That's one way to do it. Yeah. With
Dodgy signals and all that kind of stuff.
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll just be a case of getting it on phone. So yeah.
Do you both go a lot? You go to Ellen Road?
I still play, or still try to.
Right.
So I play myself on Saturdays. But I went the other week. And
I've never been, to be fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You're that kind of fan. That's what I do. Well, you look like you're going to stay up. Are you feeling positive about the club this season and how things are going?
Yeah, I think ever since sort of going to the back three with the wing backs, I think that's changed our season. And it's brought Justin, Goodmanson, and Bogle. I think it's brought them.
Well, it was quite a strange scenario where you played against Forest. You went Bogle and James Justin, two right backs, natural right backs, and you played them, and it worked brilliantly for them.
Yeah, and they spent more time in opposition box than anyone else.
Well, you had it a bit last year with Firpo, didn't you?
Yeah.
Firpo would play that position.
Yeah, or Junior. Yeah. It was
our Junior.
Yeah, our Junior. Yeah. I like our Junior.
Our Junior.
Let's stick with that. Listen, you're going to perform Steve for me. That's the song that we just heard there. You're going to do it live for us now in the studio.
Yeah. Sounds great.
So get yourself good to go. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Turn on the smart TV if you want. Stick on the YouTube channel. This is Jimmy and Nikki from the band Sunbeam with their track Stay For Me here on talkSPORT.
With your picture in my pocket, all my dreams are free. Walking to the beat of the rising sea, got you in my mind. This scene is fine. Your long white dress, it flows on down. The light wind blows from the north of town. I've walked these streets 1,000 times. This ain't nothing worth having. Nothing worth having comes for free. And nothing worth keeping. Nothing worth keeping stays for me. Stay for me. Stay for me. Does this grass grow any greener than yours? Does the sun shine any brighter than yours? I've got to know what you got to show, and how the streets you walk paved with gold. You're only as strong as a hand you hold. These roots pull deep beneath our feet. This ain't nothing worth having. Nothing worth having comes for free.
Really great stuff. Very
Brilliant
catchy.
work, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Very catchy.
That's
yeah.
brilliant. You've got a tour coming up in 3 weeks, right?
We have, yeah. So it's a bit of a northern tour. We're starting in Newcastle. I think we're doing Mexborough, Stockton,
Sheffield.
Testamere, yeah.
Sheffield, York, Hull and Leeds.
Yeah. We're doing the Wardrobe in Leeds. That's the biggest headline that we've ever done
Brilliant.
outside of Whitby. So if any Leeds fans are listening up way down to Birmingham, make sure you get a ticket.
Yeah, do it. You supported the Kaiser Chiefs as well in the past, so
We
things
did,
went really
yeah.
well for you. That's brilliant to hear.
Yeah. It's going all right. And that was amazing, wasn't it?
So how many are there? Is you two and a couple of other band members?
There's five of us, yeah.
Five of us, yeah.
They couldn't get up for us this morning.
No. They slept in, yeah.
Listen, Jimmy, Nicky, thank you so much for your time. Well done.
Thank you.
Keep going strong. Good luck for the Leeds as well. Good luck to you, more importantly.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming here.
Pleasure to meet you both.
And to you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
All the
Good
best.
luck with everything.
Cheers, thank you.
Lovely stuff. Quickly, before you go, prediction for the game?
2-1, Leeds.
I was going to say 2-1 Leeds, yeah.
When you're
It's
on
all
the
that
train
fun.
home, you can tune in live on talkSPORT.
Never miss it. Never miss it.
Obviously. Jimmy and Nicky from the band Sunbeam. That was their song "Stay For Me." It's available now, and like they say, their tour. They're off in 3 weeks' time doing a bit of a northern tour, so you can get your tickets now. You listen to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to speak to a Scottish rugby legend to celebrate their Kolkata Cup success. Come on, good morning.
Man who's supported Arsenal all his life, and I just want to say that I fear for Arsenal again because I genuinely believe that Mikel Arteta's sets out his team not to lose, not to lose, whereas Man City set out to win. And I don't know how you win something by setting out not to lose. And this is the problem we have every year. We get towards the end, and he thinks that by not losing, getting a draw will be all right. But every time you draw now and the other team wins, you drop 2 points in the Premier League. Yep. And so he's got a tried and tested method of failing. And if my reasons for believing that are, first of all, I've never believed he's going to get us over the line after his first full season. If you look back, I believe there was a moment. There was 8 games left to play. Arsenal were in 4th place. We were 5 points clear of the team.
Hello there, good morning. It's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino. If you love your tunes, you want a wee break from the sport, you can swipe across on the talkSPORT app to Virgin Radio. Get all the music there. Don't forget Chris Evans, the legend himself, is back on breakfast tomorrow from 6:30. Chris in great form at the moment.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you not agree?
But I saw Chris on I saw Chris in a
Daydreaming.
Quick short. Do you know when you get him flashed up and he was doing an interview?
Do you know who his favourite is here at talkSPORT?
Oh, Alan Brazil.
It's you.
No.
He loves you. I'm not kidding. He says it all the time. He loves the Weekend Breakfast. He loves you.
Yeah, no, he's been he's had an incredible career, Chris. He's from radio to TV.
He'll go far. I'm loving seeing...
He's gone far enough. He's just been absolute revelation. I'm not meant to say.
A revelation.
Revelation.
Yeah.
No, he's done brilliant.
And he's totally transformed the studio back to, thank God it's Friday, studio set up, and all the guests that he's getting on as well. Virgin Radio back, breakfast show with Chris Evans, 6:30 on Monday morning. Stay with us for Jeff Stelly and Ali McCoist to get your fix and all the sport and all the fallout from the FA Cup fourth round. More action obviously coming up for you today in the talkSPORT network. Getting underway, Birmingham Leeds on talkSPORT 12:30, 1:30 it's Grimsby Wolves on talkSPORT 2, back here on talkSPORT for Oxford Sunderland at 2, and then 4:30 Arsenal take on Wigan, live and exclusive here on talkSPORT. Some of your other headlines this morning: League One side Mansfield Town came from behind to beat Premier League strugglers Burnley and reach the fifth round of the FA Cup for the first time since 1975. So the CEO, Carolyn Radford, is going to be with us later on in the show. She was with us yesterday. I think we might have given them that bit of love. They had a lucky kiss on air. Carolyn and our hubby John on air with us yesterday, and they were the winners as well. Brilliant stuff. Ireland survived a major scare from Italy to claim the first win in this year's Six Nations and deny the Azzurri a historic first championship victory in Dublin. And championship side Oxford United host Sunderland in the fourth round of the Cup today at the Kassam Stadium. Sunderland manager Reggie Lebris said in his press conference that he's going to field a strong team.
First of all, FA Cup, new competition, one of the most iconic in English football. So, like we did against Everton, we want to go strong. And for the context, the last game we had is a really good reminder. The championship is tough, even if they are struggling in the league. We expect a tough game, especially in competition like that.
Yeah, Oxford, Sunderland, 2 o'clock here on talkSPORT. How do you see this one going, Cass? I mean, Sunderland have been so positive this season in the Premier League. It'd be great to see them go on a cup run, wouldn't it?
Well, they're sitting 11th from 36 points, Sunderland, so they're safe, really. Yeah. You know, they don't need hardly anything to get over the line to be a Premier League team, and they've deserved it. They've been superb this year. So I think if he's going strong, it'd be a really tough afternoon for Oxford.
Yeah.
And they'd expect it. And look, I've been in that position, played for a lower league team up against a top flight team. I did it against Everton and Tottenham many moons ago, and when I was playing for Gillingham. And you just want to play against their best team. And even though you think, oh, we might get an opportunity to get past them if they have a weakened team, you want to play against the best players.
In terms of all the games coming up today, where might lie a shock?
Well, I don't think it'll be there. I think Sunderland will win that one. Without looking at all the fixtures, Shebahn, because there's quite a few of them
Arsenal,
today.
Wigan, Stoke, Fulham, Grimsby Town, Wolves.
Well, Fulham might be a little bit of an interesting one because how strong Marco Silva goes. Because there has been times when they've not been as strong in cup competitions, but I don't see Arsenal, Wigan. I think Arsenal's second string will be easy, comfortable enough to beat Wigan.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it with the guys with us there, the Sunbeam band, because they're Leeds fans, but Birmingham Leeds today I think could be.
Yeah, tough. That is last season's game in the Championship, and Birmingham have invested a hell of a lot of money. Still think if Leeds go reasonably strong, they should have enough, but it could be one of the banana skin.
Yep, we've also got Six Nations action coming up today. France take on Wales. The update's coming on talkSPORT. And yesterday, of course, it was the Kolkata Cup up in Edinburgh. Scotland managed to get the win 31-20 over England in such incredible fashion as well. The absolutely blew England away, orchestrated by the man Finn Russell himself. A shell-shocked England could not cope with the onslaught. To look back on that success, former Scotland player Gordon Bullock is with us this morning. Very good morning to you, Gordon. Thank you so much for being with us.
Hi, Gordon.
Hiya, how are you doing?
Yeah, we're good. I know a week in any sport is a long time, and you sort of think go back when England batter Wales and Scotland get beat against Italy, and a week later, there you are at Murrayfield and you turn over England.
Yeah, I think it was tremendous. There was a lot of pressure on Gregor and the team since they came back from Italy. And it was a very difficult week for them. But the way they came out the blocks yesterday was just phenomenal. They didn't let England settle. England went to play very organised in defence, very organised in attack. But Scotland just said, no, you're not having that. And suddenly you're almost 19 points up within 25 minutes, and England really just couldn't recover.
Gordon, that is no surprise in sport. When you go after the team and you go for the jugular, literally from the outset, the other team opposition can get shell shocked to some level, and that tactic works so often that you play with. It's not to say little respect, but you're just going, we're coming after you. We're going to take it to you all the time and see if you like it.
Yeah, we seem to have this kind of ability to play against England. There's been a lot of criticism about that we can raise our game, but we have ability to not settle into how they want us to play. They want us to be running in 9 and 10 channels so they can knock us over. They want us to try and drive lineouts. They want us to scrummage all day. But what the boys did yesterday and what Gregor's got them doing is they're saying, listen, play what's in front of you. Do the thing that's not expected, and it just worked so well yesterday. It was a pleasure to see.
I mean, that first try, the thing that we didn't expect was that palm from Finn Russell to Jones. It was just so quick and so splendid, and how he read that situation so well. It got everybody so up for it, didn't it, Gordon?
It was, and I think that's the challenge they've got now, and that's the frustration in Scotland. They can play like that, but they've got to try and play that with that intensity and the desire every week. We can't just raise it against England and think that everything's merry and pretty and we'll go on for another Six Nations. We need this team needs to step up and finish second. Win one. One swallow, as they say, doesn't make a summer. So hopefully we can take that on. It's a different setup this year. There's 3 games in a row, so next week is going to be really key. But hopefully now, there's a lot of backing behind Scotland. There was a lot of ill feeling the week before. A lot of people didn't think Gregor was going to make the second game. Listening to back chat in pubs, things like that. There wasn't a lot of respect for him, which was difficult to see because I played with Gregor for a number of years. And he really came out yesterday and showed just how good a coach he is.
Yeah. What did you make of England, Gordon?
England struggled to find a second game plan. They probably knew that Scotland were going to try and play that way, and England need big forwards carrying into past the gain line so they can get momentum going. Then they can play this lovely, fast, quick handling game. If that doesn't happen, they need to find another way. It's much the same as Ireland have struggled in the last few years. When they don't get the go forward, they're not quite sure what to play. And Scotland have this game where they play almost a kind of chaos game where you just play what's in front of you. Just have a go. And maybe England, maybe Ireland, other teams need to develop that. And Scotland, again, then need to develop that kind of structured game. So we need to play for what's in front of you rather than trying to play the same week in, week out. You can do that at club level because you'll get away with, the occasional loss. But when you're under such a magnifying glass in Six Nations that you can't, you can't have an off day. So, people, players, teams have got to learn to play different ways for what's in front of them, for what game they've got, what conditions they've got as well.
Gordon, if you have an off day and then there's someone like Finn Russell, wow, he can make a difference, can't he?
Oh, it's just phenomenal. I mean, we're so lucky. I mean, I know now, what was he, 30, 33, 34? He's not going to be around forever, but he can do things that others just wouldn't think of trying, which in international rugby been professional 25, 30 years ago, and what you need to have then was as someone who could break the gain line or a Brian O'Driscoll who could do something different. And Finn's our guy, and hopefully there's guys coming on. There's Hugh Jones, obviously, who can break the gain line. Sonny can do it as well. But that makes the difference at this level.
Yeah.
You need to have players who can do something that others aren't thinking they're going to do. And Finn's, I mean, yesterday, I mean, everyone would have said, well, hold on to the ball, don't kick it away. Why are you kicking it away? But kicked it away, Ellis Genge just didn't field it properly, and suddenly we've got another try from nowhere. So
yeah, the tricks and flicks of Finn Russell, he was simply stunning yesterday to watch. Last week we were talking about England's Henry Arndale and how exceptional he had been, and then yesterday gets that red card at 20 minutes. What did you make of that?
It was a little bit rash. He knew he was on a yellow card. He's obviously scored 3 tries last week. He'd obviously got another try, in the first 20 minutes. They've got to be exceptionally careful with these high balls. because if they get the timing a split second wrong, you know it's going to be slowed down into microscopic, frame by frame, and it looks so much worse when you do that. If you play it all at real time, suddenly it's a game incident. But nowadays they're looking to try and right the wrongs of a few years ago, where you got people with spinal injuries, people with concussion. You need to make it as clean as possible and as safe as possible. So, looking back on it, he maybe will think again about rushing into that situation as he did yesterday.
Yeah, Gordon, going back a week again after France had got a victory, and then going to Wales, and Wales were humiliated in some levels towards the way they played at England. What are you making? Any chance for the Welsh today against the French?
You can say no.
Hard to find an argument.
You can say no. No fares, Wales.
It's a difficult place to go. For the last 20, 25 years, Wales have had a very proud sides, very technical sides, very emotional sides. They've won Grand Slams, but I think there's a long way to go before they get back up to the class of player, technically, physically, that they had in these years. I really do see there's some nice players emerging, but there's a lot of players who are, who maybe wouldn't get into other squads, which is, that's just the way it is. Wales are in a dark place just now, and I don't think it'll be today that they turn around.
Can we win it, Gordon?
Exceptionally difficult with the way France are going, and then we need to do something different. We need to back it up.
Okay.
If we back it up next week, and then suddenly you've got a week off and you regroup, I'm slightly worried about the injuries. I think a couple of the back row. I think Jamie Ritchie went off yesterday, and Jamie Dobie went off yesterday. So if we can keep everyone as fit as possible, then we've got a chance. Yeah, but the Scotland team needs to turn the corner. I need to put a campaign together rather than a game together.
Well, listen, it's been a pleasure to have you with us this morning. Gordon Bullock, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Gordon.
Cheers.
Take care. Yeah. All the best to you, Gordon. Thank you so much. You must watch the football. I mean, after that incident from Arndal and Steen yesterday, and Steen gets back up. Like you say, it was okay. It's dangerous play, but I mean, the guy goes up in the air flying and he just jumps back up again.
Oh, no, it's completely different.
So it's just
sometimes it's a little bit embarrassing being a footballer compared to a rugby player, isn't it?
The
way they...
a little smidge.
There's no too much acting anyway.
Yeah, legend there. Gordon Bullock with us in the Weekend Breakfast. Coming up next, we're going to turn our attention to today's games as Wigan travel to the Emirates.
The irony is, I think Arteta is one of the best managers to grace the Premier League for a long time. I think if anyone can, and I just think we just need to play.
Sorry, say that again. What did you just say? That Arteta's one of the greatest managers to ever come into the Premier League.
Yeah, can you not hear this evening?
But what are you on about? He ain't won that. He ain't won nothing.
No, but he's a young manager. Wenger came second 3 years on the trot, and then he won the league. You got to give these guys time, and I think
you just said you've been found out.
Yeah.
So sorry. Do you say that Arteta's one of the greatest managers to grace the Premier League, or recent? I missed what you said. What did you say?
I said Arteta is one of the best managers. Yep. He's come into a club.
Yeah.
I don't know which one of you are talking, but one of you's a Tottenham fan.
No, go on. But I want to know what you said.
He's come into the club. He's changed the culture of the club from something which.
What's your club or country's sliding doors moment?
Its meaning originating from the 1998 rom-com of the same name, a sliding doors moment in football terms is simply a question of what might have been. An incident in a game where, had it gone the other way, would have altered history. For example, say John Terry had scored that penalty in Moscow in 2008. Chelsea would have been European champions and Avram Grant would have the biggest medal in continental club football to his name. It stands to reason then that he would have stayed at Stamford Bridge for a bit longer, meaning that Luis Felipe Scolari wouldn't have got a look in. Would he have done better than the World Cup winning Brazilian, who only lasted till February the following year? And could he have improved upon Chelsea's third-place finish? And as for United, who won the title that season, would defeats in that Moscow final have led to Cristiano Ronaldo leaving the club for Real Madrid a year earlier? And would that have meant that Rafa Benitez's Liverpool won the Premier League instead of them? That's a pretty big butterfly effect, all from one missed penalty kick going the other way. And if you want to dig a bit deeper, there's plenty more that could have been affected. What if Anthony Knockaert had scored his penalty against Watford? We'd have been denied the Troy Deeney moment, sure, but might Leicester have gone on to win promotion to the Premier League earlier than scheduled? And would that have meant that Claudio Ranieri would never make it to the King Power? Would Arsenal or Tottenham, therefore, have been champions in 2016? The most significant sliding doors moment perhaps ever, though, was Paul Gascoigne, Wembley, June 1996. What if this had gone in? That golden goal would have sent England to the Euro 96 final against Czech Republic. 30 years of hurt could well have come to an end. There's so many of these moments that could have altered destiny forever. What if Shearer had signed for United? Would Lampard's ghost goal against Germany have kick-started England's World Cup back in 2010? What if Sam Allardyce didn't get bogged down in all that controversy and denied Gareth Southgate the England job? Does make you think.
Good morning. Thank you for listening to talkSPORT. It's the weekend sports breakfast. It's Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall striker Tony Cascarino.
Good morning.
Good morning. Nigel Clough's Mansfield caused the shock of the FA Cup fourth round yesterday, coming from a goal down to defeat Burnley.
Thousands and thousands of Mansfield fans behind the goal, thoroughly enjoying themselves. Mansfield have only beaten Burnley once in their history. That was back in 1977. We're seeing history here today. Burnley 1, Mansfield 2.
Pure romance on Valentine's Day. The owners will be back with us a little bit later on. We'll continue to look back on all of yesterday's action and preview what's coming up today. We've got 4 more FA Cup commentaries, starting with Birmingham hosting Leeds at lunchtime here on talkSPORT. Daniel Farker says he won't take any risks.
We want to go into the next round and want to see how far we can come. So I'm a big believer in cup competition without doing anything stupid.
Yes. What? You've got something going on in your mind.
No, I know. Daniel Farker, I mean, what a change around for him. You know, like a manager that was seriously under pressure, didn't even know if it felt like from the outside that, is he going to be the Leeds manager entering the season?
Yeah.
And fair play to him. He's done an amazing job of turning the club around. He's made some real tactical decisions that have, enabled Leeds to get some really great results along the way.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Good luck to Leeds today. It starts on talkSPORT at 12 o'clock against Birmingham. Also at 2 o'clock, Oxford take on Sunderland, live on talkSPORT. Unlike Daniel Farker, Reggie Labrie says he will put out a strong side.
FA Cup, one of the most iconic in English football. Like we did against Everton, we want to go strong.
Reggie Labrie there. Don't forget, Arsenal host at Wigan. That's exclusively here on talkSPORT at 4:30. We'll build up to that. And we're asking the question this morning, is the FA Cup better or worse without VAR? The number 0371722 3344. You can have your say on that, or 81089 if you'd rather send us a text. It's the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Good morning. Yeah, the referee really feeling the frustrations of the fan base yesterday. The Newcastle fans and the Newcastle players didn't get really anything going their way. They went on to win the game and beat Villa. Villa story 3-1. It went down to 10. But yeah, it was a poor performance from the officials yesterday.
It was, but a bigger picture here, Shebahn. Is there was there any other problems in any other Cup game yesterday?
This was the one that took all of
this had them all, okay? In this one particular cup tie.
And they were
Villa,
shocking, Cass. It wasn't like...
Yeah, they were blatant, obvious.
Subjected. It was so obvious.
But all the other cup ties, as far as I know, unless someone tells me differently, were quite smooth. They run smoothly without VAR. So if we're looking at it across all the FA Cup games yesterday, and obviously as well there's cup games today, that was just a really bad example, as in of how bad it can get.
Yeah, comes back into play from the 5th round of the FA Cup. So next round VAR will be here and we'll probably be hating it again.
I mean, there was a big call in the Liverpool game when Gakpo scored, and it was the linesman put his flag up, and it was just offside. He just got it. And it was a great goal. Yep. But it was the right decision. So I just think that one tie had it all, where relatively elsewhere it didn't seem to be much of an issue.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we really highlight and focus then on the negative one, don't we, instead of it being pretty smooth elsewhere. Arsenal obviously in action today as well, still on the road for the quadruple.
Yes.
You know, bumping the road against Brentford in the week. But it's going to happen, Cass? Or?
Well, I would imagine there will be a second string type of team Arsenal will put out. That will probably be enough because they have such depth in their squad. I can remember Arsene Wenger days when they had a great team and they could then play the youngsters in certain ties and they blew away teams. Yeah. They still did it with the so-called second team. That's how good they were at that particular time. I think Arsenal are no different at this moment. They can field a lot of players that might not play week in, week out, but they'll get the chance and they'll perform. The standard at Arsenal has become higher from every player. Even the ones that come off the bench or come into the squad, get into games every now and again, they've lifted the standard.
This chat about the quadruple, has that got to just chill out for a while? Because we said about the season that Liverpool had won the Champions League. That was the season of going around about this time. Oh, they can win the quadruple. Is it just too much for a team to do?
Well, history tells us it's really difficult. It's actually very difficult to win the treble. And it's pretty tough to win the double. Now, all four, I don't see it because I just think you're always one decision away from a defeat or being knocked out, especially in the cup competitions. That's how I see it. But look, so far, big thumbs up for how well they've done.
Let's look ahead now to the FA Cup with TNT Sports.
Breakfast football preview on talkSPORT with TNT Sports. Get the agony and the ecstasy, the frustration and the elation all in one place. TNT Sports, not normal. Subscription required. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Arsenal take on Wigan today in the 4th round of the FA Cup at the Emirates. It's live and exclusive here on talkSPORT. The Gunners cruise past Portsmouth 4-1 in the 3rd round opener. Well, my bad. Stunned Preston North End 1-0. Last time out to earn a date with the Premier League leaders. We can get into this one now with former Wigan striker and Latick himself, Nathan Ellington. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Nathan.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're
loud
good.
and clear.
We're good, Nathan. So, come on. What are you expecting today against Arsenal?
Look, obviously, I want Wigan to win. Obviously, my old club. But obviously, I've been watching them all season and they've not been playing too well. But one thing I can say is in the FA Cup, when we didn't expect them to win against a team in the league above, they really turned it on, played really well, outplayed Preston for the whole game. and won the game. And I was like, if they can play like that for the rest of the season, then they'll have a really good ending to the season. So they just have to play like that to stand any chance of being involved in a game. But, we're talking about Arsenal here, and even their second team, they're the strongest squad in the country, aren't they? So probably in the world of football, I would say, in terms of like if you take out their first 11 and they can still have another first 11 that can mix it with anyone. So it'll be a tough job.
Well, I was going to add to that, Nathan. I mean, the club has got a bit of a history. Wigan obviously winning the FA Cup final and beating Man City in the final. Okay, that's a different squad and a completely different group, but that always stays in the memory, doesn't it, of Wigan fans?
Yeah, of course. The fans are going to be loving, the experience of going there, and they're not going to pressure the players. The players will not feel any pressure as well, and they know they've got a history as well. So I know it will bring the best out in them, and that's the most important thing, because you want to enjoy these kind of games. I remember when I was playing at this kind of games, you play Premiership teams and you go at the stadiums, and it's a great day out for everyone. And obviously, if you do get the win, then that's the best thing, a cherry on top. But that's what they'll be hoping for. But it'll be a very tough ask.
Yeah. Well, it's look, I can remember myself like you, Nathan, going to these huge clubs, and the first thought is, like, let's not embarrass ourselves. Let's try and put in a performance. And then if you get into an hour and you're still level, or really tight game, there's a lot of hope in them sort of moments.
Well, that's football for you, isn't it? That's what the FA Cup's all about. Everyone expects the team that's the better team to win, the team that's higher in the league, the team with better players. But you never know that's what football can dish up for you. And they'll be hoping to do that. They do have certain players who can hurt you, but they just have to obviously be on their game on the day. And you never know. You never know what will happen. We've seen many things happen before. And even now it's coming back to my mind when I played, I think I was at Bristol Rovers. We was in the 3rd division and we played Premiership derby, and I scored a hat-trick and we won the game at Pride Park. So it's possible. It is possible.
And what do you think about VAR? I mean, yesterday we didn't have it. It's back in for the 5th round, but there was a few controversial decisions at Villa Park. Would you rather have it or not have it, Nathan?
To be fair, it's like there's two sides to it. One side is you want the results, whatever happens, the decision to be correct. That's number one. So VAR helps in that way. But then it does kind of kill that feeling of, when the goal is scored and the referee's giving it and everyone's happy and everyone's celebrating. You don't want to wait to celebrate. That's the only bit that really kills me. I think they could speed up the decision making on at least quite a lot of these decisions that get made. I don't know why it takes so long to make the decisions. But I'm still for it. I just think we need to make some adjustments.
I was saying, Nathan, yesterday that, obviously Villa Newcastle was a bad example because all the decisions, all the bad ones happened in that game, but there were other cup ties that seemingly run quite smoothly.
Yeah, of course. And that's what I mean. People are going to always pick up on something. VAR isn't there to make it 100% perfect. It's there to cut out those goals, the goals and the decisions that are massive decisions that you need to get right. And that's the thing. And there's always going to be an element of the opinion of the referee, and that's what's going to happen. You're going to have people thinking it's not a handball, it's not deliberate, it is deliberate. The thing is, we know it touched his hand, but then does the referee agree that it's an actual penalty? We don't know, and you'll never have everybody agreeing on. And we've seen it before, haven't we? We've seen fouls, we've seen all this stuff. Is he really interfering? Is he not? That's the human element side that has to stay there as well. So you're always going to get differences of opinion.
Oh, sure thing. Nathan, listen, thank you so much. Prediction for today?
Can you?
Your heart or your head?
You're a Man United fan, so obviously you want Wigan to win.
Exactly. I can say what I want and what I think will happen.
Go on.
I think, if I'm allowed to do that.
Do it, yeah.
I think I want Wigan to win. I want them to go and win. I think if they could keep it tight and sneak a goal and hope, that they don't play their first 11 and get a 1-0 win. But I think it'll be an easy day for Arsenal if I'm really, thinking about it honestly. I think Arsenal will win win the game quite comfortably. I'm not going to say the score.
Will they win the quad?
No, they won't win this quad, and I don't want them to win the quad because some Arsenal fans that I know,
Hard work, right?
they will love to say what they want to say then, and I don't want them to be able to say it.
Nathan, thank you so much. Nathan Ellington, former Wigan striker. Have a good day. Good luck.
Good luck, Nathan.
Thanks a lot.
This chat keeps going on. Listen, Arsenal fans, if you want to build up to this game, make sure you download the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily podcast. It looks at whether the pressure is becoming unbearable for Mikel Arteta's side. So far, it's looking so good for them, but obviously that lead at the top of the Prem was cut to 4 points midweek after dropping points against Brentford. Gunners fan Harry Symeou is with Perry Groves on this one, who won 2 titles with the Arsenal and believes the current pressure is a privilege.
And if you can't handle that pressure, then basically means you can't handle playing for Arsenal because of the expectations and the scrutiny, obviously, from the media. And what you said there, we're 4 points clear. It's when we won the title in '89, which was, culturally one of the biggest games in football history of the country. People forget that the 2 games before that, we lost against Derby County 2-1 and we drew against Wimbledon 2-2, both at home. So if we hadn't won the title the way that we won it at Mickey Thomas, we'd have been accused of being bottlers because we only took 1 point out of those 2 home games, which it would have been even more in our hands than what it was. And what you have to do is, in these times, we're talking about adversity now, sort of, for Arsenal, right? After the loss home against Manchester United, we've won 4 and drawn 1 with 3 clean sheets. So if you look at the bigger picture, it's all still miles more positive than it is negative.
The wise words of Perry Groves there when it comes to Arsenal. You can download it now or listen on the talkSPORT app, talkSPORT Daily podcast, to build up to Arsenal. Today's the pressure getting a bit much because so far it actually looks all right when you listen to Perry Groves there. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast. Stick with us. Coming up, we're going to get the latest odds from Coral and we'll look ahead to the FA Cup 4th round action on the way on talkSPORT today.
Speaking on the Overlap Stick to Football podcast, Ange Postecoglou criticised Tottenham's transfer strategy while claiming his former side are not a big club in the wake of Thomas Frank's sacking.
When you walk into Tottenham, what you see everywhere is to dare is to do. It's everywhere. And yet their actions are almost the antithesis of that. Right. It's a real curious in terms of understanding what are they trying to build? What are they? Is it... There's obviously, they've built an unbelievable stadium, unbelievable training facilities. But when you look at the expenditure, particularly, in their wages structure, they're not a big club. I saw that because when we were trying to sign players, we weren't in the market for those players. It's just who we are, mate.
Oh my God. To dare is to do. What do you lot do? You do nothing. What do you do?
Yeah, I mean, look.
What do you do? What do you do? Do you dare?
morning, it's the Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Chelsea and Celtic striker Tony Cascarino. Got to be one of the most famous theme tunes. I mean,
The Simpsons, yeah.
It's a giveaway at the start.
Yeah, I've never watched it. Never watched it. I've seen clips, but I've never watched it.
Stop it.
I've heard it's hilarious, but I've never actually sat down and watched The Simpsons. Does that make me sad?
Yes. See, there's things that you don't say out loud, and I've learned the
Well, I've
hard
just
way
did.
from this. That time I said, I'm not really into the Beatles, and everyone was like, wanting my name in blood.
Well, that's worse than...
Is it?
Yeah, God.
Come on.
Well,
on,
maybe you're saying I'm not
Simpsons
into
is
it.
like
Okay, that's a
the
choice
longest
thing.
running-
But you've heard all the Beatles songs, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, so that's different. Well, I've never watched The Simpsons.
Yeah, I think that might be worse.
No, I've only seen short clips, but everybody I say that, they always say, you got to watch it. You'd love it.
Some of it is banter. Some of it's very,
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah.
Some of it's like close. Did you ever watch South Park?
No, not really. Again, I saw clips of it. I'm not really. The only American comedy I've sort of I spoke about, Everybody Loves Raymond. I wasn't really into Friends. Cheers weren't bad. It was decent. Who played the guy in Cheers? He had his own show, Fraser.
Mhm.
I quite like Fraser as well. So they're yeah, but I prefer the British comedy.
The Simpsons have just celebrated their 800th episode, but today's the creator Matt Groening's birthday. He's
Right.
72. I bet you he's flossing. He's meant it. 800 episodes.
Well, you would be if you've made the series for so long. How long's it been going, The Simpsons?
35 years.
Is it as long as that? Wow.
Is it 35 years, something crazy like that?
Yeah, that's a long time.
You know, I know nobody cares about this, but see, in The Housewives, one of the housewives is Jennifer Tilly, and her ex-husband was the writer. And when she was going through her divorce with him, her friend was like, "You should get a lawyer." She was going to take half, and then the lawyer made sure she got the cut of The Simpsons. And this woman is just so rich from being married to one of the writers. Married not too well.
Yes.
Things like that.
Get the kitchen sink.
Fair play, but yeah, it's such a good show, to be fair. I wouldn't watch it now, but
Why?
I've seen
You said
loads
it's great. If it...
yeah, well, it's Sam's The Simpsons, the one that's kind of predicted a lot of things that happened, and like written obviously way before
down
it
the
happened.
future. In the future, yeah.
Yeah, it's just very strange. Right, now let's get the latest odds with Coral.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. Get set to bring the cheer this festive season with a sleigh full of free rewards from Coral. 18+ gambleaware.org.
John Hill is with us. John, are you a Simpsons fan?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Are you okay, by the way, Shebahn? Because when Kath said he'd never watched The Simpsons, there was a silence there. I'm sure you just fell off your chair or something.
I was like,
you was absolutely astonished, weren't you?
How have you not seen any?
Well, I've seen clips, John. I mean, I haven't sat down and...
an episode or so.
He doesn't like TV, John. He's busy doing the
Are you not
housework.
TV man? Is that
No.
right? Yeah, you're too busy with the ironing and the washing and all that. So, yeah, washing up. I'll have to get you onto my house, Cass. You can do mine if you want to. What about Family Guy? Have you watched any of the new kind of things, Shebahn? Family Guy?
Family
American
Guy.
Dad, all
I
sorts?
thought you meant to my Family Guy. Do I start?
He's definitely a Family Guy for sure. But my husband still watches Family Guy.
Yeah,
and
I like Family Guy. It's
He'll
good.
be like crying, laughing, like tears
Really?
streaming down his face. He thinks it's the funniest thing, but it depends what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Better get to the odds, John. Loads
Absolutely.
of FA Cup ties today. Obviously, Arsenal taking on Wigan in London, but there's a few other ties in there as well.
There is, yeah. Obviously, the big shot yesterday, Burnley going out the Premier League club. Will we get any upsets today? Well, Arsenal very short favourites here, Cass. They're 1-12 to beat Wigan, former winners of the FA Cup. Remember beating Manchester City at Wembley. They're 22-1 to cause an upset today at the Emirates. Remember, Arsenal still going for this unprecedented quadruple. They're 50-1 to do that, going strong in the Premier League, in the final of the Carabao Cup, and obviously favourites to win the Champions League as well. So Arsenal going strong in all four competitions. What else have we got today? Early game is Birmingham versus Leeds. We'll be wishing Birmingham well as partners of the club. They're 9-4 today to beat Leeds. Leeds 23-20. The draw 5-2. And then a few games in the afternoon period. Wolves taking on Grimsby. Wolves 4-9 to beat Grimsby. Fulham are taking on Stoke. They're 7-10 favourites in that one. And Sunderland 4-6 to beat Oxford. So I just wonder, will we get some upsets this afternoon, guys?
Not so sure.
Maybe Birmingham. Maybe Birmingham.
Yeah, maybe
I think that's the one of the five. Yeah, I agree with you.
But you never know, because Leeds have been doing so well. but maybe just going away, it might favour Birmingham.
Well, if he's absolutely giving us the truth on Daniel Farke, Leeds are going to go strong. That'll be a tough game.
That is the key, isn't it? Team news today, because some of these managers like the Wolves and whatnot, they may well play some of the fringe players, squad players. So do look at your team sheets this afternoon. I would say that if you're having to play on these games, but looking forward to them.
John, quickly up the road, Scottish Prem, because all the teams in action today are doing so well. I mean, Motherwell have been excellent this season as well in fourth. Rangers Hearts, also Kilmarnock against Celtic. What do we see happening?
Yeah, this is just a brilliant battle, isn't it, Shebahn? I'm really fascinated by this title race. Just in terms of the outright market, Celtic 11 to 10 favourites from here, Hearts 2-1, Rangers 11 to 4. I'm not so sure we've got that right as bookmakers, I have to say. Celtic today have 2 to 5 to beat Kilmarnock, and then the big one at 4:30, Rangers Hearts. Rangers just a shade of odds on at 19 to 20, Hearts 14 to 5. And then the draw 5 to 2. If Hearts can get a result today, Shebahn, and particularly they can pick up the 3 points, I don't think we'll be offering 2-1 on Hearts. I think they'll jump to the top of the title betting again. But 3-horse race for me, it really is.
Do you know what? I said it earlier on, John, and I'll never say it again in my life, hopefully, but I want Rangers to win today because I need Hearts to drop points, need Celtic to win. We've still got the game in hand, so... that would help. That would help our case, but I should put a sock in it, really.
And we're not going to mention the rugby, are we, Shebahn? After yesterday, Kolkata Cup, we'll forget about that.
Brilliant stuff, absolutely brilliant. I suppose that's really you running out of time, isn't it, John?
God, Saved by the Bell. That TV show.
Who's on? Is it still France for the Six Nations win, or England?
Yes, they're odds on. Yeah, long odds on France. Okay. Yeah, and they're long odds on to beat Wales today, so they should prevail.
Yeah. What's the handicap on Wales?
It's 33. I think, that could be good. That could go in the first half, Cass, if France get going. You know what France are like.
33, that's a big handicap.
It is, but Wales are suffering this year. I spoke to a few Welshmen yesterday, and they were saying they're not looking forward to this one this afternoon.
It's tough, but we never know. Listen, John, thank you so much as ever. We'll speak to you again soon.
Have a great day, guys.
John Hill there. That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18+, begambleaware.org, and please gamble responsibly.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. Get set to bring the cheer this festive season with a sleigh full of free rewards from Coral. 18+, gambleaware.org.
And coming up, we're going to speak to former Wilson Grimsby defender Ryan Bennett to look ahead to the game between his former sides this afternoon. It's live for you on talkSPORT 2.
Alex Crook has been crowing about this for the last 24 hours because, of course, this has been his motto. He said, I felt like Tottenham was saying, we're one of the big boys, and the reality is, I don't think they are.
Well, it's interesting. If I've been saying that in an Australian accent and holding up the Europa League trophy for the past 6 months, maybe Tottenham fans might believe me a bit more because he's their hero, isn't he? Despite the fact he finished 17th last season. And he's right. He said all the things that I've been saying. They're a big club in terms of the training ground is fantastic. The stadium is the best in the Premier League, if not the best in Europe. But they're not a big club in terms of trophies won, in terms of global fan base, when you compare them to the likes of Liverpool and Manchester United and Arsenal, especially now that Son is not there anymore, because that did open up all kinds of avenues for them. And they're not a big club in terms of the transfer fees they pay, because Dominic Solanke is still their record signing at £65 million. And they're not a big club in terms of the wages.
Well, actually, that does make them a big club in world football because there's not many clubs that play that sort of money for players. Most of them are.
Good morning, weekend breakfast here on talkSPORT. Shebahn Aherne and former Millwall striker Tony Cascarino. Your main man from UB40's birthday today. Don't worry, I don't know. I know they're not called UB40. UB40. Easy mistake for anyone to make, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were
not
talking about them earlier, weren't we?
Never seen them live, Casper.
No, never, no. But yeah, they're a great band. Yeah. And they've done loads of covers in their time as musicians. And I actually didn't realise he's as old as 66. I thought he was a little bit younger than that. But fair play.
Yep, yep.
I'm sure they're still really popular today.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm sure my mum and dad would still stick on UB40 in the kitchen. Have a bit of chill time. Drink red wine. Okay, here's what's coming up for you on talkSPORT today. After us, it's the Sunday edition, 9 o'clock. Henry Winter alongside Sean Custis. And then 11 o'clock, building up for the first of our 4 live FA Cup commentaries. Birmingham host Leeds, kicks off at lunchtime. 2 o'clock, we build up to our next live commentary. Oxford take on Sunderland. And then from 4 o'clock, Premier League leaders Arsenal take on Wigan exclusively for you here. And Majestic and Alan Pardew are then here on the studio taking all your calls from the weekend's action before the Trans Euro Express at 9. If you're heading out and about, download the talkSPORT app and take us anywhere with you today. You can also watch us on the smart TV or on the YouTube channel. Come and watch along in the studio. You're listening to talkSPORT. Time now to get the latest FA Cup action in partnership with McDonald's.
FA Cup update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary.
So here's what else is coming up today. Wolverhampton Wanderers make the trip to Blundell Park to face League Two side Grimsby Town. Meanwhile, Norwich defeated West Brom Albion 3-1 at Carrow Road yesterday. So we can now chat to former defender for Norwich City, Wolves and Grimsby. Ryan Bennett is with us this morning. A very good morning, Ryan. Busy weekend for you?
Hi,
Good
Ryan.
morning. Yeah, not too bad. I'll be spending this weekend actually going to the Grimsby Wolves game. Yeah, so I'm doing a bit in one of the suites there for the game. So that'd be a good day.
Lovely.
Yeah. Ryan, I've got to ask you because first of all, Grimsby, they're unbeaten in 2026.
They are. Yeah, they're doing really well. Obviously, they've took on sort of the Jamestown analytics sort of side, and they've used that over the last sort of year and a half now, and it's sort of starting to pay dividends for them. Really, they went for a bad spell just previous to this good run, which could cost them in the end in the league. But yeah, they've created some good moments this year, and obviously people have seen some of the games that they've played this year against Man United and obviously Brentford, and obviously they have another big one today.
Yeah, well, they're a side that certainly got recognised a lot more after the victory beating Manchester United.
They did, yeah. And again, they started this season well, and they made some good signings through the data that they do have, and there was optimism around this area that was the aim this year, to get promoted, and they've gone about it quite quietly, really. And again, that little spell could be the only sort of blip that they have had this season, and it could cost them in the end. But there's optimism to get promoted around here, and they're doing their best, and they took on obviously the new ownership that's come in has done really well, like the community and stuff. All the stuff they've put in place has put the club in the position it is today, and hopefully they can go and finish it off.
I mean, Wolves are just clinging on, aren't they? They're not going to survive in the Premier League. But I don't know why we haven't really considered today as being a bit of a cup set. Grimsby maybe could do a job today. Do you see that happening?
They could. And again, looking at the pitch from Grimsby's last home game, it's not going to be a surface that's conducive to good football, which Wolves might struggle with a little bit. But, I was talking to a lot of people throughout this week, and I feel like maybe the position that Wolves are in, it's a massive game for them. I mean, I'd imagine they're going to go there, play their full strength team. It's the only sort of glimmer of hope that they can sort of cling on to this season is getting as far as they can in this competition. So I'd imagine the staff there are going to have the team really up for it. And as I said, they're not going to be too many changes, I imagine, and it should be a strong team that Grimsby are facing. But as we said, the pitch is not going to be conducive, and they're not going to be used to what they're used to. It's a cold day here; it'll be windy. So it will throw up some surprises, and they're going to have to deal with it and they have to roll their sleeves up. But on the day, we'll have to see how they do that.
Well, it's one thing for sure, Ryan, is that, when you sit your Wolves players down and you're having a chat about the game and, ideas of how to beat them, first thing you've got to realise is who's up for it, who's got the character to, knowing it's going to be a really tough physical game against a side who want to prove themselves that they can beat another Premier League team.
100%, and that's what they're going to have to do. And we all know, we've seen it with Grimsby before, they will raise their game today, they'll work hard, and they will be in Wolves' faces. And, how many of these Wolves players have come up against this in previous years? Obviously, a lot of the team are from countries that are abroad, and, they obviously will know and they'll be told about what it's like. But sometimes, as we all know, it's different when you're actually there on the day and you arrive to Grimsby. It's cold, it'll be a hostile little atmosphere in there as well. It'll be busy, it'll be full. And they'll be behind their team, so it will be interesting to see how they do handle that.
Norwich also got a win. Your former side, Norwich, over West Brom yesterday. What do you make of that?
They're doing very well, to be honest. I've spent a bit of time watching them and doing a bit of radio for Norwich. And I think when Clement first come in, I was at the game at Sheffield United, and they showed great heart, and you could see what they were really trying to do. And sort of the latest game I was at was Middlesbrough, and again they gave them a real tough game. And Middlesbrough are a top team in this division. And they've gone on and they've carried on and they've made some good signings who have come in and hit the ground running. We see that yesterday with the goals that they've scored and the 2 games previous with the striker coming in and scoring a hatful of goals already. The manager has them firing. West Brom are struggling. They're in free fall currently at the minute with their new managerial appointment. But for Norwich City, it was imperative that they did make that managerial change and get instant success, and that's what they've done. And it's good to see because it's a good club.
Yeah, well, I remember watching Norwich in the early part of the season, Ryan, and Liam Manning's Norwich were a team that overplayed in really bad areas of the pitch, a little bit like Russell Martin, and they had something like 60 feet on the spin, didn't they, at home?
They did, yeah, and it was tough. Obviously, the manager comes in. He had some personal life issues, obviously, when he was at Bristol City. That that moving back to Norwich was a good fit for him. And to be honest, I was really wanting him to do well due to that as well. But he's done well at clubs he's previously been at, and obviously, unfortunately, the fit wasn't there. They had a lot of injuries, so whether that was the training, the sort of the intensity that they were playing at, but. One thing that is noticeable is the intensity sort of increase, and I think it's been spoken about with the players in public as well, in terms of the training's obviously stepped up a little bit. It's becoming harder, and I think he's gone back to basics, and they've just rolled their sleeves up. They've showed heart, they've showed desire, and they're really taking on what the manager wants. And I think the manager come in with the remit of obviously keeping them up now, and he's now starting to build on that. Now he's sort of survived that initial spell.
I just wanted to ask you about Mark Guéhi, because he scored yesterday for Manchester City. They go through to the next round, but he was knocked out with Crystal Palace, so no longer being cup tied is a thing now in this competition. What do you think about that?
It's a tough one, really. I mean, if you look back traditionally, obviously that would be the case, that you would be cup tied. But on the other side of that is, it was punishing the player a little bit in terms of, if you do move, you are cup tied. The games you want to be involved in. And, when you do make them moves, obviously Mark's gone in and played games straight away in the Premier League, but sometimes that was your opportunity. The same as it is for a young kid. Sometimes it's your opportunity to go in and do well and, gel into the team. But I do think it's a bit of an issue. I believe it should still be a little bit traditional in terms of if you have represented another club, then you shouldn't be able to go in and represent another one. But that's just my personal opinion, and I'm sure everyone has got a different opinion on it.
Yeah, it's a mixed one, isn't it, Ryan? Because, it feels like one of them damned if you do, damned if you don't. And, the players, it has a big move and the opportunity's there because the rules in place say that he can play now. It's just different. For
sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, Man City have been clever in terms of realising that rule. And ultimately, if you sign a player, and especially if you sign a player of the quality of Mark's stature...
Yeah. Oh, you've just frozen there. We've just lost him there. Ryan Bennett, former Norwich, Wolves and Grimsby defender. It came up, the whole cup tie situation. It was Shay Given was on TV last night. He wasn't particularly pleased about this change of the rule.
No, it's, of course.
But is it punishing the player? Like, they get a good move. They've done a good thing. So why should they be punished?
Well,
but he has been knocked out. This
idea is, you're going to see in the World Cup next summer, aren't you? You're going to see certain players who might have been suspended and then suddenly they can play. And, it's the idea of getting the best players playing in the latter stages for one of the better teams. Yeah. It feels unfair that he would be allowed to play, but they changed the rules. So everyone will benefit further down the line who gets a move.
Yeah, true. Okay, all thanks to Ryan there. And that was a look at the latest FA Cup action in partnership with McDonald's.
FA Cup update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary.
Cass, I just want to ask you about Harry Kane. He got another 2 goals yesterday.
Yes.
For Bayern Munich. That gets him 500 career goals for club and country. I mean, no stopping this guy. But is he as good as you?
Well, he wasn't at Millwall because he got 9 goals and I got 45. That's where it starts and probably ends.
It's a good point, though. Good point. I mean, what happened at Millwall, Harry?
I did have a few more games, but Harry was a young boy. I saw him at Millwall play when he was about 18. And, I know it's easy in hindsight, and we'll go, well, you couldn't have imagined that where he was then and then in what he became. That's testament to Harry. His attitude is extraordinary. His mentality, his ability to adapt to certain scenarios. It didn't surprise me that, Bayern are always going to be dominant in the Bundesliga, but it didn't surprise me that he went to Germany and done so well, because he could have still got, 25, 30 goals and he'd have been held as a great English player that's gone to Germany and done brilliantly well. He's done more than that. He's done it in the Champions League. He's done it in the Bundesliga. He's done it with England. He's still, after all these years, the main man. And that 18-year-old kid that I witnessed at Millwall, it's like, wow. And fair play to him. It's all on Harry, how well he's done.
Absolutely.
But I was better than him at Millwall.
Yeah, you were. You can't take that away from me, Cass. Greatest ever English striker. You would absolutely have him up there. But of all the achievements that he's had, he's not done it in the Premier League. He didn't do it with Pochettino at Spurs, and he's the best striker. I mean, is there something missing there?
Yeah, he didn't have the side as good as him. He was the Spurs had some great teams as well. If you look at Modric, Bale, and players like that at that level, they've had some really good side, Spurs, but never really had enough. The Champions League final they lost to Liverpool, it felt like that was the opportunity for Spurs to actually go on and win something after that tournament, but it changed so dramatically, didn't it? From Poch leaving the football club, and Harry knew he had to leave the football club to get success elsewhere, because he obviously knew the dynamics between Daniel Levy and the spending of transfers and salaries that were being paid, that they weren't going to get the very best. And I'll just go back to something I said earlier about Spurs and in their wages that are not competitive to the very biggest clubs. There was a period of time when they got players like Jurgen Klinsmann to the football club. Yeah. They would have broke the bank at that time to get Klinsmann. And, I'm not saying they should break the bank, but what I'm saying they should do, if they want to be competitive, they'll have to match the top wages in the top European teams. It's as simple as that. Otherwise, players will go elsewhere.
Yeah. Well done, Harry Kane, though. 500 professional goals. Absolutely outstanding. You're listening to the Weekend Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're building up to 4th round FA Cup action live for you here on talkSPORT today. And coming up, we're going to speak to the Mansfield CEO after their FA Cup glory, beating Burnley yesterday.
Let's go to Alan, who's a Man City fan. All right, Al?
Yes, good evening. I've got a little song for you at the end for the Arsenal fans as well. But do you know what, Arsenal? Man City are a snake, and they've had their foot on our necks where we've been weak, and they should have cut our heads off and buried us in the sand, and they've not. And now we're going to come back and beat them, and we're going to win this title. And in a couple of weeks after we play them at the Etihad, when we give them a footballing lesson, you can ring me up and I'll come on the show again, because Man City are a better team to watch than what Arsenal are. And he's coming on. The Premier League trophy's coming back to the Etihad. And listening to these Arsenal fans tonight, we are right in there, then. All the memories of all the years previous are all coming flooding back. And we're going to win the league. And I'll give you my song now.
Go on in. Is it clean?
Crumbling again, ole.
Magic in Kingston Town.
Good morning. Weekend Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's the lead singer of UB40's birthday today, so we've been having a little UB40 party.
Brilliant. I love listening to these sort of songs. Brilliant. They crossed over fantastically between sort of the reggae era, the two-tone and all this UB40.
Timeless tune. Some of your headlines today: Anthony Kim has won the Live Golf in Adelaide this morning. Considered the comeback Kim. It was his first professional win since 2010 because it was a 12-year absence from the game. He battled addiction troubles. He returned to pro golf in 2024 as a wildcard player on Live Golf, and he's just gone on to win in Adelaide today, so that's absolutely brilliant stuff. A great story there for Anthony Kim. Well done to him. Also, England defeated Scotland by 5 wickets in the T20 World Cup cricket. Tom Banton's unbeaten 63 helped England to victory, and Fulham travelled to the Bet365 Stadium to take on Stoke City in the FA Cup 4th round tie. The Cottagers have progressed from each of their last 7 FA Cup ties against lower division sides. We were just watching the screens there, Cass, in the studio. Troy Parrott popped up his 12th league goal yesterday for Alkmaar.
He's had a good season. His exploits at Hungary and the hat-trick he got, and he's gone ahead and scored. He's keeping it going. So really good signs from Troy Parrott.
Yeah, I mean,
do you want a funny story on Troy?
Go on.
Right. You know the winning goal he got against Hungary?
Yeah.
Well, his mum was asked on TV in Ireland, seeing her son score the goal, and she says, "I was at the bar getting a drink."
Oh, Mum.
She was buying a drink at the bar.
It's always
and then she said this on TV, and everyone was laughing, of course, because I'm again probably thinking it's all been done. I'm going to the bar and just didn't see it.
Oh, that's brilliant. I mean, Troy Parrott, he could really prove to be the difference for Ireland in this one.
Absolutely. He's only 24, Troy, and he was at Spurs obviously for a long time. He's gone to the Netherlands. I listened to him in an interview, and he said that he felt like the Netherlands was like Ireland to him, where it's a small country. He can get to A to B very quickly across Ireland like he could in the Netherlands. And he said he's really loved the lifestyle. Yeah. So fair play to him. He's played, seemingly, without watching him week in, week out, he's doing brilliantly well and looks so sharp when he's playing.
No, I mean, it could prove to be it all for Ireland in qualifying kind of thing. I really hope they get to the World Cup. I mean, I know I'm buzzing.
Oh, absolutely. I'd be delighted. It'd be fantastic, especially with other nations getting there as well. So,
you listen to the Weekend Breakfast coming up for you at 12 o'clock today. Birmingham take on Leeds live on talkSPORT. 1:30, Grimsby take on Wolves on talkSPORT 2. 2 o'clock, Oxford face Sunderland here on talkSPORT. And then 4:30, Arsenal take on Wigan. It's exclusively for you here on talkSPORT. We mentioned Birmingham against Leeds. That's certainly one to watch today. We believe Tom Brady's in town to watch that game and hope that Birmingham will get the win. But we heard from Daniel Farke earlier on. It's likely he's going to field a strong team and potentially go to Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got an opportunity, Daniel Farke. Look, Leeds has still got a little bit to do to stay in the Premier League. I think they've got plenty enough in the tank, and that points difference. But he's looking at the cups as well and going, keeping that momentum going.
Wolves boss Rob Edwards, he's been saying in this press conference that they're fighting for their careers against Grimsby today. They're fighting
absolutely.
for the club. I mean,
And that's a tactic. It's maybe it's just true that Rob Edwards is going to be saying my eye's going to be over certain players running in to the end of the season, whether it's the cup, whether it's league games. Oh, I want at this football club next season.
Yeah.
So they all know what's at stake there, the players.
Yeah, Reggie Lebree from Sunderland said he's going to field his best side. And then also Arsenal Wigan today, exclusively for you here on talkSPORT. The conversation around the quad for Arsenal continues. Could we see that going one way today for them? It's at the Emirates, and all the updates and the game live for you here on talkSPORT. And yesterday there was a giant killing at Turf Moor. League One, Mansfield knocked out Burnley in the FA Cup thanks to a brilliant 80th minute goal from Lewis Reed. We touched on him earlier on this morning, Cass, but that was magic, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That will be obviously the type of goal it was as well. A free kick that he just pinged it, and it was like the Declan Rice, Szoboszlai's efforts, where the goalkeeper's been beaten in an instant.
Yeah, it was a huge moment, and I was thinking about the owners because we had them on yesterday. Carolyn Radford, the CEO, and our hubby John Radford, the owner of the club, and they're back with us this morning, guys. Were we your lucky charms coming on talkSPORT? What a day!
Totally. I mean, it was.
Wow.
It was like a dream. We're now back in Portugal.
Oh wow!
We met Pep Guardiola at the airport. I mean, if that's not a sign, what is?
So come on, tell us what. I mean, obviously it was an incredible euphoria day, but just tell us the experience and what you had.
Well, in the stadium, our fans were fantastic, and they just, for us, for a town like Mansfield, it's making history. We've got this far once before in our things. So it's not something that comes around, very often. And to go to a place like Burnley, we've got such a well-organised Premiership team and, a good manager, for us to be able to pull a result off was, it wasn't expected. It was hopeful, but the players, they had that hope and really went for it, and the fans had that hope. And
we've been away to Barrow. We've been doing this for 15 years. We've lost on the way back. We know how it feels. We've seen the highs and the lows. And, talking to Carly, Scott's wife, in the boardroom, and, it's football that is highs and lows. But for us, we were just like in tears. It was the best Valentine's Day I've ever had in my life.
Oh, love it.
Happy Valentine's Day, guys.
and how was yours?
Very, not as exciting as yours, to be fair.
I was at Bromley versus Notts County. That was my Valentine's Day.
Oh, but it's lovely to see you out there celebrating in Portugal. Listen, what was the reaction when Louis Reed scored that second goal to give you the win? I mean,
I think hopefully, his other half hasn't gone into labour yet.
Oh God, is she pregnant? That would send you into labour.
I know. Yeah. Well, no, I don't think it has. But I mean, we were all like, oh, it was just incredible. I mean, that was, that's got to be one of the goals of the season.
Oh, that's a record book.
A long way.
That's going to be in the history, the archives of football, that goal.
Boom.
Absolutely.
I mean, yes.
He'll be knocking on your door on Monday morning looking for a new contract, Carolyn.
He's already just had a contract. So
Fine. Done. Okay.
Now I understand.
He's now performing on the national stage, isn't he? So, we're just thrilled with all of the footballers, of Nigel, as I said yesterday, we'd be proud of them, whatever. But it's great to see them enjoying it. And I think, that it really showed yesterday, their confidence is growing and, very biased. But
the way our fans backed them and everything was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So the obvious question is, who would you like to come out in the draw to face, and at home or away?
It's got to be Pep, innit?
Oh, Pep, yeah.
He didn't seem that excited though yesterday. I was like, at the airport, having selfies with him and everything. He was quite reserved, but I guess, I don't know, Arsenal, I think.
Arsenal.
One of the big clubs, I'm not saying that a big club so one of my sons supports Liverpool and the twins support Arsenal as their Premiership team, so one of them would be nice for their family, so to speak. But I'd love to go to Newcastle, like go to Chelsea. Those places you'd like to go to,
and there's some we don't. Some we already know quite well.
Listen,
I don't fancy your trip to Wales, that's for sure.
Fair enough. Listen, it was so good to have you on yesterday, and we were chuffed to bits for you. I mean, you're the most loved up couple in football this morning, that's for sure.
Oh, it's a game of two halves, isn't it? That's what they say. But it was a good day.
Totally jealous of that backdrop. It's absolutely pedalling down outside here in London.
Yes.
Portugal and Sunday.
Are you in Kinta?
Yeah, it's half term, so we've got the kids away for a bit of sunshine. So.
Yeah.
But we've got rugby going on at the campus, so that's the only thing.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not really rugby family, more footy. So.
Well, we're very envious. Blue sky you've got. We've had rain and miserable. Well, you saw that yesterday. So.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It was yesterday. It was sunny in Burnley. It's supposed to have its own microclimate and everything.
Brilliant.
We go. Oh, take the win. Anyway.
Guys, we're loving your vibes this morning. Enjoy your
Okay.
holiday out there in Portugal. And good luck for the next round. Hopefully we'll speak to you
Cheers.
again soon.
Cheers.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.
Take
Right, you need to have a kiss going off air because she's dead yesterday and you had everybody going, oh, they're so cute.
What's that? Sorry.
She's like, no, I've hung up. He's no kissing me on air again.
Yes.
Oh, he's going in for it. There you go. John and Carol and Radford. Lovely stuff. Thank you very much. The owners of Mansfield in dreamland after that win against Burnley yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. It was the... I mean, look, Burnley haven't had a particularly great season, but, you know, they're still a Premier League team. And Mansfield have gone and done a number in front of 3,500 Mansfield fans. It doesn't come better.
And what a time for Lou Reed. New contract, having a baby, scores
No,
the
that's a
winner.
clever chairman or owner. That's clever owners going, by the way, sign him up.
Yeah, no, absolutely brilliant. Good stuff. Listen, good luck to you and your team in the FA Cup 4th round today. Good luck to the Welsh and the Six Nations. All the sport keeping you posted here on talkSPORT as ever on Game Day Live. And your first of the commentaries gets underway at 12 o'clock. Birmingham hosting Leeds in the FA Cup and talkSPORT. Cass, have a good Sunday. See you next week.
See you soon.
Have yourself a good weekend. Take care. Lots of love. Bye, bye, bye.
Labour MPs, they say